Hello everyone, it is I, Ryan, also known as the Lovebat, and I'm here once again to go ahead and bring you another Let's Play, or another episode of my Let's Play of the original Diablo, and we are here in the lovely town of Tristram, and we are here for the next episode in this journey through Diablo, dealing with evil, the primeval Diablo, his minions, or just demons, devils, anything is from the hells in this kind of world of Diablo. And so we're in episode 6, I believe, so we're making a good time. We're making some headway here, and we're definitely having a good time along the way. We've only died once, which is kind of an accomplishment because the game can be difficult in some spots. There are some difficulty spikes that can happen with some enemies, so very happy about that. But for the most part, we're doing okay. And then, we kind of left off the last session doing lots of waypoint type stuff. And figuring that out, we've kind of figured out that the waypoints happen every 2 levels of the dungeon here. And so every 2 levels we'll end up finding a waypoint that'll give us a way back to town, because unlike the original version of this game, the original version allowed you to save anywhere, so we have to use waypoints to get back into the dungeon now, and when we come back into the game, when we end a session, basically. So with the Belzebub mod that I'm using, it makes it to where it's more like Diablo 2, where you start back in town when you go in and come back to the game for another session. So we're going to be relying on things like waypoints and such, and dealing with that. And that's just the way it is, but you know, it's both a good and a bad thing to have waypoints here and to be more like Diablo 2, because the original Diablo wasn't really designed with the waypoint system really in mind, and it's a much slower paced type game, so having more infrequent waypoints is kind of both a good thing and a bad thing, because now the game relies on it instead of just saving anywhere and then continuing right where you left off in the dungeon. So, and the respawning enemies can be a bit annoying sometimes to have to play, you know, through a dungeon level again, and then you have to fight through your way all over again, and etc. So, but we were able to go and make some good progress last time. We ended up dealing with a mage called Czar the Mad, and we dealt with him, and apparently we were disrupting his concentration, air quotes, as my sorcerer pointed out after we defeated him and had the voice line pop up. One other thing that I've also learned is that there is one hotkey that I think I've finally learned a little bit after my time playing this game. If I can get something to pop out of these barrels, I can show it to you. So I believe the control key, you press the control key and then it'll highlight items on the ground. I didn't really know how to do it before, and then I kind of was fumbling around, and as I was recording, I was getting ready to record this episode, and I hit recording, and one of the hotkeys for recording is Control F9. So what must have happened in the game is that it had this thing popped up, and then I paused the recording to try and figure out, okay, so how do I fix this, because I hit a hotkey and I don't know exactly which one caused it to do that. And then I accidentally ended the recording by accidentally hitting Control F12 for my end recording hotkey, and I was a bit of an idiot, but I finally figured out how to get the icons on there for the items on the ground to show up, so I can just press the control key and I can do this. So now that I know that, I'll be able to more easily find loot on the ground when I have like a bunch of enemies that die. And it also makes it easier to figure out, alright, what stuff do I want to pick up and what stuff do I want to leave behind. So like, the gold I'll pick up, but the skull cap, mundane, I don't want to pick that up, so I can just forget about it and move on. It does not highlight containers and things like that, so it's not going to highlight barrels or chests or things like that, but it will highlight items that are already on the ground. Don't think I want to go down to level 9 yet. I want to go ahead and explore this area as best I can. So we have a Night Clan now. I think in the last level we were playing, it was the Stone Clan, and now we're all the way up to the Night Clan, so we're working our way up. Yeah, I need to be a bit more accurate with that, but we're doing okay-ish. guess we have some omnipotence, or whatever you want to call it, omniscience, to where we can kind of see these skeleton archers, even though we're not able to hit them. Maybe it's because the torches are there, I don't know. What's that? Arcane Enchanted? Okay.
Not enough mana.
So I think we're just going to go and pump him full of lightning and leave him to lay there shocked in awe. There we go. I think we dealt with that pretty well enough. Now let's take care of the Burning Dead archers. Looks like there's a couple more over in that direction. Waiting for their untimely death. Or undeath, maybe is the better term for that. I don't know how you kill undead. Do you kill them in undeath, or do you send them to the abyss or something like that, of nothingness? I don't know what happens with them, but we're fighting quite a lot of them, and that's the important part, and we're going to send them back to the hell from whence they came. Alright, lightning wall, probably not something that sells very well, so we're just going to leave that behind. Large chest. Don't think any of those are worth selling, and then there's... Here we go, control key. Let's have this do the thing. You die. And then there's something coming from over here. Oops. Alright, so that does a bit of damage, so I can't just tank those shots with impunity. And Toad Demon be gone. There we go. Yeah, I'm just going to deal with these enemies real quick that might be around here, so I don't have to worry about being interrupted while reading this book over there. Toad Demon, you die. There we go. Alright, so I got all the items that I think I needed. I'm going to go ahead and heal myself, and then we're going to see what the Sin War is all about here.
Many demons traveled to the mortal realm in search of the three brothers. These demons were followed to the mortal plane by angels who hunted them throughout the vast cities of the East. The angels allied themselves with a secretive order of mortal magi named the Horadrim, who quickly became adept at hunting demons. They also made many dark enemies in the underworlds.
Alright, so it looks like we have some, we have like an interesting hell versus heaven kind of dynamic going on there, and also just, evils that are basically entering, the mortal realm, so to speak. So they were entering the mortal realm to try and find, I think it was the prime evils, I think. I'll read it again here.
Many demons traveled to the mortal realm in search of the three brothers. These demons were followed to the mortal plane by angels who hunted them throughout the vast cities of the East. The angels allied themselves...
Yeah, so you have a secret order of the Horadrim, or like mortal magi, very adept magic users, and then the three brothers that the book is referring to are the three prime evils. You have Diablo, the Lord of Terror, the namesake of this game. Then you have Mephisto, the Lord of Hatred, and then Baal, the Lord of Destruction, I believe, is how the three of those prime evils go. And so that's kind of what the book was referring to there, and then the Horadrim are like a mortal sort of order of very just high-powered magical beings, so to speak. And then obviously the angels from the heavens, they chase the evils to the mortal realm to try and deal with them, and then a big ruckus would just start where heaven, hell, and mortals alike would all just get embroiled in conflicts, and all kinds of shit would happen, basically. I mean, it does make the mortal realm more interesting, but you kind of hope that there weren't like big wars between heaven and hell going on at all. You kind of wish that hell would just shut up, and then, you know, heaven is just kind of like, we just want to go about our business, and then hell mucks things up, and we have to do a bunch of stuff about it, and then the mortals get involved, and everything just goes to utter chaos and all kinds of bar brawls and fights breaking out between heaven and hell, and yeah, it's a big fat mess is what it is. And then you have situations that come up like in King Leoric, son being kidnapped because of an evil plot to kidnap his son and make the king go mad, and all this other stuff that happens, and man, it just turns into one big mess after another. That's basically the Diablo universe. It's like if you thought that Game of Thrones was riddled with a hive of scum and villainy and people just trying to fuck things up for everybody else, then you have Diablo, where everything's just all fucked up all the time. So at least in universe it is. I'm not saying that every character is. I mean, the people in Tristram just want to be able to live their lives and everything, but after what happened to King Leoric, it became kind of... Oh! Well, that just happened. A unique archer over there killed us in like 2 hits, so that's a bit embarrassing. I'm making an explanation, talking about the lore, and then a unique creature just comes in and beats the shit out of us. Like, that was like 2 hits that he killed us in, so that... So yeah, I was basically just going ahead and maybe playing with fire there by talking while trying to play the game, but, you know... I mean, dying in 2 hits, it's hard to really predict that you're going to get that.
Soul in search of answers.
Really hard to predict that you're going to die in 2 hits, so... Like, dying in 2 hits, that's the kind of stuff that happens at level 1 or 2, but I'm level 17 with a decent investment in vitality here, and I died in 2 freaking hits, so... I mean, it's just hard to predict that that's going to happen. I apologize. Deaths do happen in video games. You do make mistakes, you screw up, and you get killed, so... we'll go ahead and take a Book of Healing, I guess. And then I guess we can take Chain Lightning, since that's something we're going to want to use eventually here. For now, Lightning is probably the main thing that we really care about, because as long as we keep our enemies in one direction, we can use Lightning to nice effectiveness, so... Alrighty then, well, that was a big fat mess, and now the dungeon's probably going to respawn, and we're going to have to go through all that all over again. Alright, I guess not. I guess I forgot that, as long as you don't quit your session here and exit the game, then you can still continue on here, so... Probably should have gotten this ring identified, but I think I'll be okay. So let's see, do we want to put Chain Lightning anywhere? Stone Curse is situationally useful. It could be useful here to put the stone, the guy who killed us, who's very strong. Let's see. I mean, I'm just surprised that I died in 2 hits, and it's an archer too. Like, imagine being a warrior trying to close in on them and not getting killed before you get there. That is just really tough luck. Maybe we'll put it there instead of Fireball. I mean, I don't know if we're going to actually end up using Fireball, even though it's a really good spell. In this game, where you have the respawning enemies, and you can kind of grind for gold and things like that. And yeah, so I think just regular Lightning and Chain Lightning are probably good enough for us here. And then we'll see if we can do Stone Curse on that really strong enemy that killed us. I think they were down that hallway there. Alright, let's do it. Alright, kill, 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 kill. Yes, we got revenge. We have avenged our own death by bringing justice to that archer. Now, obviously in Diablo 2, you don't have to worry about that quite as much by being able to die so really quick. Especially when you can get melee allies or summons or things like that to go ahead and help you out a lot of the time. You get a thing called hirelings in Diablo 2, where it's basically like an NPC character that kind of joins your party, as it were, and they accompany you combat-wise throughout the game, and they level up with you, and immune to lightning, so we want to go ahead and throw some fire at them. Let's go ahead and kill him before he gets here. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Alright, so this game with the Belzebub mod does throw some wrinkles at you that the original version did not do. Now, the original version was still pretty difficult, I must admit, at least when I played it as a warrior. Just trying to close in on enemies before they got in a bunch of damage on you was kind of difficult sometimes. Especially when they had like magic and throwing that kind of stuff at you later. Or around this point in the game is where they start throwing magic and all kinds of archers at you. Yeah, so as long as you don't get caught off guard, you should be okay. I spent a bit too much time discussing lore when I was interrupted there and got killed in 2 hits, so I just gotta pay a bit more attention here while I'm playing and realize that death is a possibility. Okay, so yeah, so I guess with the lore, everything, as I was talking about before I got killed there, everything is kind of just fucked up in this realm, and everything's a big fat mess. It's one mess after another, and things are always kind of getting screwed around with by the almighty powers of heaven or hell, or whatever you want to call them. And so it's a constant battle of good versus evil. The axis of power sort of shifts now and again to different things, or sometimes the big evils of hell can be contained or can be defeated or something like that, and then sometimes...
obitus ut inimicus.
Oh, it's not a tome that you get a scroll from, it's for some kind of quest or puzzle here. So I'm going to have to take another look at that when I deal with the enemies here first that are annoying me. Okay, I don't want to get stopped by the wall. Let's get him. He can hit me, but I cannot hit him. Okay, well, that's a bummer. Now I have to do this and get to a different position here. There we go, now I can hit him. Yeah, ranged enemies are a bit annoying in this game, especially since you can't... unlike Diablo 2, you can't really run to close in distance really fast if you're a melee character to try and dodge their attacks. Alright, any more enemies I need to account for here? Alright, now I want to get to reading these little tomes, the spell tomes over here. Heal up first, do this, put those over there. So this said...
Efficio obitus ut inimicus.
So I don't know if this is a reference or if it's some kind of Latin that you would have to look up on the internet or something like that.
In spiritu sanctum.
So maybe it's like Spanish or something like that, or...
Efficio obitus ut inimicus. In spiritu sanctum.
So I think it's like Spirit Sanctum or something like that. I would assume that's what that meaning is for that tome.
Predictum otium.
So I guess I'm not sure what these spell tomes are, or if you have to do them in like a certain order
in
here.
Spiritu sanctum.
Spirit Sanctum
Efficio
something.
Predictum otium.
I'm not sure what the meanings of these words are. Like Spirit Sanctum seems like the same, like what this one translates to, like in Spirit Sanctum or something like that. I'm not sure what it means, or if we come across something else on this level to unlock some kind of side quest or some kind of portal to a spirit sanctum that appears in the middle here or something, but it doesn't show up on our quest log, so I'm not sure exactly what those are, but more annoying archers, man. And more annoying traps. What else is new? You know, like 75% of the barrels have either a trap or some skeleton or some explosion, etc., etc. So that's why I just open them with a spell, so that way if a skeleton pops out, they die along with the barrel. So I'll have to figure out what those scrolls are and find out here soon. Like, it says that it's a spell tome when you hover your mouse over it, so I don't know if you do something with those tomes to unlock a certain spell for your spell book or something, like a special spell. Like a really hard to get one that you can only get in that certain way or something, but... Well, we have encountered Tsar the Mad once again. Our arch enemy has returned from the dead. Apparently he just hasn't had enough of being annoyed, and so here he is once again. And this is the whole respawning enemies thing. The game, Diablo 2, since it was designed around respawning enemies and using waypoints, etc., like it would... I mean, you can obviously grind enemies and stuff like that, even the unique ones, but... and even some of the plot-relevant ones in Diablo 2. You can even grind Diablo himself for whatever reason that you would want to, but... like, you can do that, but this game, it feels kind of weird to encounter him again, but... we'll just go ahead and annoy him again, and do the thing that we did to defeat him last time, which is cast Guardian. Is he bugged out? Do we have to take something from his, bookcase here?
Your curiosity.
I cannot cast that yet.
Yep, so we just let these Guardians do the work for us, and we're kind of golden here. It does have a cooldown here, which I don't think that the original game had, but that's more than enough to deal with him. Yep, that did the job. Alright. I mean, it's kind of cheating. We deal with a quest again, we get experience, and we get his magic items that he'll drop, but... spell scrolls I'm not really interested in. Ooh, a book. Charged bolts and charged bolts. Well, not really what I'm looking for, but I'll take it, I guess. Maybe I'll put them in my stash if I need to want them for later. Alright, so I guess at the end of the day, nothing too eventful from that second encounter other than just having the pleasure of annoying him again, and he just decides that, oh, he was too annoyed at us and he had to try and kill us again to exact his revenge on our annoyance. Alright, looks like we have more gold here. Quite a bit of gold. That's a lot of gold for mundane enemies. Alright, we have a chest over here, and then more gold, and a unique short bow. Alright, so that's a dead end over in that area. We can't go down that way, we have to go through here or through there. And the way down to level 9 is over there, but we want to find out what these spell tomes are.
In spiritu sanctum.
Like, I don't know what these are for, if it's an unfinished thing that the mod author couldn't finish restoring to the game, or they... I don't know. Maybe it's an unfinished part of their restoration process for the game. those goat demons like to run back and forth and get caught in a pathfinding loop for some reason. The good old pathfinding loop. Now granted, pathfinding in this game isn't all too troublesome compared to Diablo 2 or some other RPGs like Baldur's Gate, for example, where you're trying to control a party of up to 6 people or up to 6 characters, and yeah, it does get kind of messy. Ooh, I'm trying to move and do stuff, and then that pops up. Alright, more archers. Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely a hack and slash action RPG and all that, so we're doing kind of a lot of the same, and I'm just trying to, you know, make this kind of like an interesting, entertaining experience as I provide the commentary here. And then that's up to level 7, we're not going to go that way. So far, it doesn't seem like we found an indication of what those spell scrolls are for, but I don't know, maybe we'll find something somewhere else. The only thing that I can think of is that we either have to go back to town and talk to Cain about it. Maybe he'll have like an exclamation point over his head for that kind of side quest, or maybe it's that one priest that up to now has had nothing really to say to us that might say something about it. Alright, well that was easy. Press the control key, they didn't drop anything, so now I'm going to go away from the dead end and go somewhere more with action. More inhabited. Oh. Go somewhere more interesting, more action-packed. There are at least a couple more of them over there, I think. Oh, there's archers instead. Okay, well. And one's a unique archer, so that means we get the hell out of there. Yeah, so I've seen the value of having lots of vitality here, so I definitely want to get that up. We have plenty of spell points here, we have potions. We need to not die here to these strong archer ranged enemies. So the unholy, the minion. So I guess like minions in this game, they're kind of like a step above mundane creatures, but not quite up to being unique creatures.
Where would I put this?
And we have a Book of Stone Curse. That's interesting. Gain another level in that. Drop a few potions. Whoop, I don't want to drop everything here. Okay, and then we'll make room for a charged bolt. We'll put it in our stash back at home. More gold. Alright. Now let's go ahead and town portal and get some of these items identified and see what they're up. See what they're all about.
All I can do now is pray for us all. All I can do now is pray for us all.
Right, so he has nothing to say about the spell scrolls that we found. Maybe Cain will... I guess not. I don't know, maybe the spell scrolls that we found are just kind of gibberish in some ancient language, like some kind of, you know, Latin or pop culture reference for people that are privy to it.
What ails you, my friend?
Latin or Spanish or whatever it is.
What ails you, my friend?
What about you, Cain?
Hello, my friend. The story of Wirt is a frightening and tragic one. He was taken from the arms of his mother and dragged into the labyrinth by the small, foul demons that wield wicked spears. There were many other children taken that day, including the son of King Leoric. The knights of the palace went below, but never returned. The blacksmith found the boy, but only after the foul beasts had begun to torture him for their sadistic pleasures.
Okay, so I guess the son, the king's son went missing around the same time that Wirt did then, so that kind of establishes somewhat of a timeline that I previously wasn't too sure about, so I guess Wirt couldn't have lost his leg that long ago. So I guess the son went missing more recently, I guess. Like, at least that's what I can infer from what he just said, Cain said. The only question is, how could little demons like that, who I can defeat all by myself, how could they kidnap Prince Leoric if, like, a bunch of knights are certainly guarding the prince? Like, you would think that they would have to get through several pretty good guards and knights or soldiers to be able to get to him, so how did they do it, I wonder? Like, what's the trick? What's the, what's the deal with that? I guess...
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
I guess, thinking about it, the Archbishop Lazarus, he could have hatched a plan, and that kind of might have been the reason why demons and things like that were able to kidnap the son in the first place and do all that. But even then, like, even if that was what happened, then everyone would be talking about the Archbishop Lazarus betraying everyone, and like, someone probably would have known about it. The Archbishop has something to do with it, when people would already be talking about it, but now let's have him identify our items here. Okay, let's see what items that we have on our hands. Staff of Frost, not bad, but not what we're looking for. Ooh. Resist all 10% and plus 10 to dexterity. Like, that's to all attributes, and that's actually not too bad for us. Resist all 18%. That is really good, though. That is really tempting. Dexterity isn't so great, and we will lose some vitality and magic out of it. But resist all 18%, like, we could use some more resistances. Right now, like, everything but lightning is kind of like the bane of our existence right now. I don't know, but maybe 18% just isn't enough to justify it, because we're losing out on other stats. Our hit points only go down by 2, and then our mana goes down by only 4. But then all of our resistances are really high. And our lightning resistance, it seems, is maxed out at 75%, so... Absorbing half trap damage is nice, but I think that maybe we're at a point where just having more resistances might be better than absorbing trap damage. So, maybe this we can stash away, and then if we want to come back to using it, we certainly can. Let's go ahead and put the Books of Charged Bolt in here, and then we'll learn more Firebolt. Let's see how much the spell goes up this time. So 59 to 68. 59 to 68. Alright, so it went up by 4 points of damage there. That's a pretty good increase, considering. So if we come across more lightning immune enemies, then we'll be able to use Firebolt as a still decent alternative to kill like those demons that we encountered before.
Well, what can I do for you?
Demon Flight, not a bad bow, of course. A rogue would be happy to have that early in the game, but again, not something that we're going to use. We have plenty of other options here. We'll just hold on to these potions, because I think we'll probably need them. Pretty good shield for a warrior. Yeah, health regeneration's nice, but when we tend to get hit and lose our health, we tend to lose it very fast. So health regeneration not really something that I think is gonna make much of a difference compared to mana regeneration and just having more overall health to tank shots from people.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
So we get some good money for that. I guess the game prioritizes reducing resistances more than I do, because minus 3% resistance for mundane enemies doesn't really make any kind of difference, and for boss enemies it's like a drop in the bucket, so like it doesn't really make any difference. You need to get like 15 to 20% minus on the resistance for the minus resistance to really mean anything, and that's kind of the way that it's actually the way that Diablo 2 functions. Reducing resistance is an ability in the second Diablo game for some classes to do, so and it's more of a high level feature granted, but it reduces it by much more than 3% or 5% or whatever, you know. You have to reduce it by way more for it to be worth it to make a difference. So casting speed, not bad if you're doing like Firebolt or Fireball or something like that, where you just wanted to lob in a bunch of shots all at once, but lightning we tend to only have to do 1 or 2 volleys to kill an enemy. At least the mundane ones, so. And plus, I like the mana regeneration too much, so I'm just going to stick with that. I guess I want to check out her skill books real quick before I leave
sense a soul in search of answers.
Or her spell tomes here. Mind Maze, well, I don't know what that does, but it sounds interesting. Maybe I'll come across something like that. Well, she certainly wants to sell it to me because she has like 3 of them here. And it requires magic of 72 and level 8, so it's probably a pretty high level spell if it has such requirements on it. You know what, because you only live once and you only play a game once, let's just go ahead and buy it and see what it does. This was not a spell in the original game as far as I can remember. So, where is it? Mind Mace, okay. Summons a Mind Mace that crushes enemies in its way. Well, that sounds like fun. So I imagine it's got to be something similar to lightning, I guess.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
So if that's what it does, let's just go and spend some money on it. We have nothing better to spend our money on anyway. And we'll learn some of that. And we'll see how Mind Mace works. We'll test it out on some unfortunate enemy down there. Alright, so let's go to our stash. Put another spell tome in there. Keep that in there just because of the curiosity of what set it must be a part of in this mod. And then Mind Mace, we want to set it to a hotkey. That is the question. Firewall, maybe not something I'm going to realistically cast anymore, so maybe we can set Mind Maze to that hotkey. I gave it a shot, I gave it a run, but I'm not sure if I'm really going to cast it. Guardian kind of takes the place of Firewall now as something that you can cast a couple times in an area, then run away and let the spell do its work, so. Let's see what this spell does. Alright, so who's going to be the first evil victim of all this? Whoa, boy. What is that? But it hardly does anything. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, about that. Lightning does this. And then Mind Maze does that. And I mean, it looks cool and all, but like, it did hardly any damage. Like, lightning does so much more damage to these guys. Like, even if you had a stream of enemies, like, it does hardly anything to them. And plus, let's see how, like, you see how much mana lightning bolt costs? And then this thing costs about the same, even maybe even more mana than that. So that costs 26.5 mana, and then lightning costs like 9.5 mana, I guess. So, like, why would I ever want to cast something that's just way worse? Well, that was like 40,000 gold wasted. I mean, I hate to be blunt about it, but like, that is just like, we just wasted a bunch of gold on Mind Maze that doesn't do anything. Like, it's cool that the mod author added that spell in there, but it's useless. It does next to no damage to these guys. Like, maybe they're resistant to magic and not lightning, so that's why it doesn't seem like they're doing much, like, taking much damage here, but like, lightning just does so much more damage to these guys, and it's only at spell level 4, so it's not like tremendously leveled up here, so the streams, I mean, maybe just lightning is an overpowered spell in this mod compared to the other options. I don't know, but I mean, it just does way more than Mind Maze, so just rags. Ooh, a magic scimitar. So, yeah, having to deal with that. A bit annoying that I spent so much gold on that, but you live and you learn. I weighed the risks of would it be a useful spell. I should have maybe only bought one. Maybe I should have only bought one copy of it before deciding I wanted to invest in it or not. So, lesson learned from now on. Just buy one spell tome of spell, learn it, see if it's actually any good, and test it out, and then decide if you want to go ahead and invest more gold into being like, yeah, I want in on some of that, and then spam it at enemies. So I guess the spell tomes are back to their normal
Efficio
form.
obitus ut inimicus in spiritu sanctum predictum otium.
I mean, since this thing is, or since these spell scroll or spell tomes are voiced, I imagine that there's something to do with that, because they wouldn't have like, the developers wouldn't have had voiced lines for those if they didn't amount to something, right? Plus, we have this ominous, like, looking block right here, so maybe we have a way to open up what's inside this area right here to go ahead and give us something. Because this area right here on the mini-map, it looks like you can open it up somehow and then get to what's inside with these spell tomes somehow, but I'm not sure how, so not sure how. Let's just deal with the goat archers first. All these guys. Yeah, these archers are kind of hitting hard at this point, so it's kind of a big pain to deal with. And I must have pressed the wrong hotkey or something, because apparently I thought I was pressing one of the spell hotkeys there and hit a different button by accident. We're done with you, and we're done with you. the sounds of more archers that are bound to annoy us. To high hell. But, hell or high water, these archers are annoying, so. But again, that's just the way it is. I'm sure that the enemies find us annoying too, of how we're just standing back and spamming lightning at them. So I'm really not one to talk here, because the enemies probably find me much more annoying and deadly. So, because I'm just standing here spamming lightning at them and killing them all. So. All right. More traps. Nothing new there. Oh, looks like we have a ring over there. And one more enemy that I have a hard time aiming at. More annoying little traps. More annoying little traps. Man, with so little mana, we still have a uncanny ability to still pump out some spells here, so. Let's see, nothing in there. I guess we have another door up here to go and visit. Alright, so we're visiting this door. What's behind door number 3? One lonely archer. One lonely archer and then a dastardly trap. So that was what was behind door number 3. And then we have door number 4 over here. What's behind this one? More archers. Lovely. Many archers. We're going to kick our ass if we don't run out of there. Nothing really. Oh, Book of Frost Shard, I guess. We'll take it. We'll restore some mana with it at least. So. Alright, die, thank you. Jesus, jeez Louise, like there's just so many archers in this level of the dungeon. If I were playing a warrior for this playthrough, it would probably be even tougher at this point. Because then you have to try and run in all the way in there and chase down archers that want to move around. So, like in the original game, trying to chase down archers as a warrior was the most annoying thing to deal with, because you would have to practically try and corner them to get them to stop moving. And so let's see how we can deal with them. Send a couple volleys to make sure I don't miss them. Let's go ahead and use the healing potion. Open up these barrels and then go for a mana potion here on the ground. Meant to pick that up. Alright, dagger, gold, gold. Now, nothing else seems to be on the ground in that area. Did anything interesting drop over here? Not yet. So nothing good there, or at least nothing interesting. Archers. And another chest. And another trap that I'm just basically telling, get out of my dungeon, get off my lawn, you traps. Do not want to deal with any more of these mother effing traps. All these traps on these chests are just getting on Abe's nerves at this point. So, I mean, at this point, they're also not exactly deadly traps. They're not dealing so significant amounts of damage that I have to worry about them anymore. But you know, it'd be nice if they weren't. Be nice if every other chest or container wasn't just trapped on us. So.
I cannot get there from here. I cannot get there from here.
I cannot get there from here. Okay. Well. Yeah, so I guess we walked right through a door and right into an enemy, so another small little mistake that thankfully I was not punished for. Now, if it were a unique creature that I walked in on or something like that, then I would probably be really punished and then get my ass handed to me and then die embarrassingly, and yeah, that wouldn't be good. Thankfully, that hasn't happened yet, other than walking into that one unique archer creature that was from far away and killed me in 2 hits and that kind of stuff. But so I guess it's kind of happened before, but not really. It wasn't like I was walking into a room by accident and then having a strong enemy right in my face. So, more archers. Okay, well, and they are kind of doing some damage. I gotta pay attention again here, so I don't want my inventory in the way either. Any more of them? They're looking to kill me. A couple, but not many. Yeah, that's kind of troublesome, where they wail on you with like 5 or 6 shots at one time, and your health just goes down like a... Man, it just goes down like a big tidal wave of health, just disappearing, and you're like, oh man, I gotta get out of here really quick. And, yeah, sometimes you just have to accept the fact that when enemies wail on you in a game like this, you just have to kind of run away fast, and then regroup, and then prepare. And more archers. Man, they are just taking my health down here. Okay, well, let's heal up a little bit. Those goat archers are just the worst. They're even worse if you're a warrior, obviously, but like any kind of archer is annoying if you're a warrior, but especially if you're going up against those goat archers. They will run all the way across the dungeon to try and avoid you, and then the only way to actually get hits in off of them is if you get them cornered up to a corner of a wall, like right here, and then they stop moving. But you have to be so precise. You have to be right in the middle here, in this middle spot, and have them right on that corner of the wall before they'll stop moving on you. So definitely don't envy being a warrior in this game, even though it's easier in the early game to play with them because they're melee, they're actually tough. But in the later game, when you have lots of ranged enemies that kind of come across and you have to deal with, the warrior kind of has a tough time with them because he has to tank a bunch of shots before he can even deal any damage to them. So nothing over there. Not too much is over here. This one familiar. And I guess that's the end of this level of the dungeon. So that's the end of level 8. So now we have to go back up over here somewhere and go down to level 9, where hopefully we're going to be able to survive the onslaught of the evil that awaits us. So, and we have the Sin War right here.
Many.
We already read that, so I guess I'm not going to repeat it, but yep, we're really caught in the middle of a bunch of demons in a hard place right here, so let's go down to level 9 and see what awaits us down there.
It is hot down here.
Holy shnikes. Well, we are so in a world of enemies here. Like, holy hell. Holy hellhole. Like, that's a lot of enemies to be surrounded by. So what we experienced there was the next tier, or the next theme setting of the dungeon, and that is the cavern area. And as you can see, the cavern area is a much more open style of in-game map to work with. So compared to compared to where we're at now in the catacombs, there's lots of doors, corridors, things like that, hallways, ways to make use of positioning and then just lobbing lightning through a hallway or through a door or next to a door or something like that. But now, as you can see in the cavern area, it's much more open. There aren't quite as many walls to work with. There are less ways to protect yourself from being surrounded. This might be a good time for chain lightning to just start spamming to see if we can make it work here. Guardian might also work. We can just spam that. Okay, so 4 to 6 lightning damage. That's not honestly very much. Whereas lightning here is like 4 to 102 a second, which seems much better than the 4 to 6 per second. So, like, yeah. Maybe Guardian is what we cast here, and then we just try and dodge around all the blows and stuff that they're trying to inflict on us. So we'll go back up if things get too hairy here and then try and formulate a plan, but why isn't the Guardians going up here? Okay, so let's just get our Guardians working here and have them deal with this.
Not enough mana.
Not enough mana. Okay, well, let's do another one, and then we'll get another one over there. And hell, why not? Let's get one over there too, and maybe over there. We can afford potions, so I'm fine doing this just to kill these enemies that are really annoying us right here.
Not enough mana.
Not enough mana. Oh, I really want to clog that area there. I don't want him getting through there, so I just want him to die. Die. Alright, so he died of a big explosion, so I guess there's going to be more enemies like that over here. So yeah, I just want to clear out this area so that way I have some room to work with and actually breathe for a second here. Alright, so it looks like we took out all the enemies over there. Is there anyone over there? A little bit.
Not enough mana.
So I guess there's some enemies over there that I can deal with. Some Guardians. Are there any, like, mana potions here to kind of help us out a bit? Not that I can see so far. Ice Blast, probably. I mean, we'll learn it, I guess, but we're probably not using it. There's a full mana potion up there. Let's move the barrel first. Then let's switch back to the Guardian here. And yeah, you Guardians take care of them. And then, I guess...
Not enough mana.
Not enough mana again. What about this creepy cauldron? temporarily increases strength, okay.
I cannot cast that yet.
Okay. So yeah, there's just all kinds of enemies and all kinds of chaos going on in here, so... Guardian is sucking up a good deal of our mana, but it's a safe option here. Just to try and clear out some area, because, like, we're hardly into the dungeon yet, and look how much action and carnage has already befallen us, so... Action and carnage like this befalling us when we're just opening up the door, like... I just need a bit of room to breathe here. Like, come on. Alright, yeah, we are in a really bad spot. Can I get out? Can I get out, please? Oh, shit. Yeah, the pathfinding kind of screwed us there. We were probably going to be able to get out, and then we got surrounded, so that kind of happened there. So, yep, so that's another death. I mean, it's partly my fault for kind of getting overzealous on my positioning there, not being a bit safer, but on the other hand, like, that is just a bunch of, that's a bunch of stuff going on right there. Like, I burned through 2 full healing potions, maybe 3, to try and get out of there, and then that happened, so...
What ails you, my friend?
Let's get a couple of potions here. I think we're going to need them. I mean, it's partly my fault there, but, you know, it's also just like I was trying to leave and I got stun locked there and I couldn't really get out. If we were playing Diablo 2, I would have been able to get out of there pretty well, but because of the fact in Diablo 1 you can kind of get stun locked by enemies' attacks, it kind of makes it difficult to run away if you get caught in a bind and get surrounded like that, so yeah, it's kind of tough. Just ancient game mechanics that are a mixed bag, I guess you could say. Okay, so we're going to get rid of that. Obviously getting rid of that. Good, but not as good as the ring we already have, so we're going to go and get rid of that. And that's trash, so we're going to get rid of that. Not bad. Not bad as an early game weapon, but otherwise trash. And then that's not bad for magic, but we need the hit points. Like, we need the hit points really bad, so I don't mind just keeping the one that we have here with the helmet. Like, damage reduction would be great, granted, but like attacker takes 4 to 6 damage, or you take 2 less damage, or stuff like that. Like, there is merit in that, but just not for a sorcerer, I guess. I guess we'll put Firebolt in our stash here. Yeah, and that's the one thing I like about saving anywhere in the original game, is that you can save it, and then if you die, you can reload it and go right back to where you left off in the dungeon before you died, and you can try again right away, and you don't have to fumble around with waypoints or things like that, getting back to where you were.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
Let's get a few more potions here, because we have the Guardian spell that's kind of burning through mana a little bit, so we kind of want some of these. Nothing that I really want over there. Nothing over here that I'm really enamored by. Yeah, I was kind of hoping to make it through the game with 0 deaths, but like 2 of the deaths that I had, like, they happen really fast. Like, it's kind of hard to even react to what's going on there, so it is a bit difficult. So yeah, like the death that I had against King Leoric in his tomb, You know, that's somewhat on me. I'd say that one was most on me. I was trying to click away, and I should have realized that I was clicking on a wall to try and retreat. Obviously, I tried to explain my actions as best I could and what led to the death, but obviously it's still my fault for not realizing that I was clicking on the wall there instead of clicking somewhere I could actually walk to. Because obviously you can't just blame the game for your fuck-ups. Like, it's not the game's fault that you fucked up and made a mistake, so you just have to kind of realize it and learn from it and move on. So that's kind of the way that games go. It's also the way that sports go as well. You learn from your mistakes more than from your successes. So we've kind of learned in this level, or this level of the dungeon, that Guardian is our best friend here. Because it can take care of enemies without us even having to get over in harm's way, so we don't have to worry about getting surrounded here or anything like that, or enemies charging us. All we have to do is just lob in some Guardians here, and that will take care of business for us. And we have a unique creature over there, so we want him dead yesterday. Okay, and then he's coming over here. Well, that's not good. Why is he not shooting at them? Why can't you reach him? I mean, obviously they're dropping a lot of gold pieces here, so I mean, that's some consolation for them being super difficult, but still, charging enemies, getting surrounded, and all that kind of stuff, that's not what a sorcerer can deal with in this game very well. If they can just charge in at you super fast, at super high speed, where you have a hard time retreating, that's kind of like, game mechanic-wise, you just cannot run fast enough to get away from them, so let's do some more of this. More big bads over here.
Not enough mana.
Book of Healing. Time to drink some more mana potions here.
I cannot cast that yet.
Let's get over here and cast these things way out yonder and have them deal with some enemies here. There we go. Go ahead and kill them all. That's nice. That's not so nice. It's not nice to get a fireball straight to your face. Yeah, playing a hardcore playthrough of the original Diablo here would be incredibly difficult to have like a no save or a no death run. Like, not dying at all is just really difficult in this game, especially in these later sections with ranged enemies, charging enemies, magic using enemies, enemies that just take away like half of your health and with one hit, things like that. Just kind of difficult to deal with. So you're bound to maybe, like, it is possible, it is doable to get through this game without dying, but it is a difficult proposition because there are just lots of hurdles in the way of doing that. So our enemies seem to be dropping lots of healing potions, but those are not the potions that we really desire a lot right now. Because with the Guardian spell, we're kind of burning through mana here compared to lightning. And I mean, lightning probably still works on them, but it's hard to get a good, safe vantage point to hit them, and they're all kind of moving around a lot more now with these enemies. So these enemies are kind of moving around quite a bit more compared to the other ranged enemies that would stay in place while they're trying to shoot arrows at me and such. So lightning doesn't travel fast enough most of the time to keep up with them. I guess it did there, but I'm not sure if in the future this is going to be reliable here. Whereas Guardian, it's going to be a bit more accurate since it's a closer vantage point for the projectile there. Alright, more of this carnage over there. And at least I can kind of know if there are any more enemies left over here or not. If the Guardians stop firing, then that means that there aren't going to be any more enemies over here. Otherwise, they wouldn't stop firing. So it is one way to kind of tell if there's still any enemies left over here or not that you need to deal with. Yeah, so it being an open map, an open style map combined with no walls, lots of ranged enemies, charging enemies. Again, it's kind of difficult to deal with this. And why am I not able to cast a spell over there? Not sure what was going on over there, but at least we were able to kind of do that at the end. Dead end over here, so we have to go over to the west or the south. Let's go south. More nonsense to befall us, I imagine, but it's nonsense worth living for, because we're killing evil, going through the dungeon here, and the caverns, you know, it's just the way of the evil life. To get deeper and to deal with more evil, you just have to kind of make the trek here. Now, obviously, the caverns are my least favorite theme of this game. You know, not just because of the map style, but also because of the way that the maps are kind of designed here. It's so open, so it's going to benefit the enemies much more than it benefits you, as far as being surrounded, having to deal with lots of enemies at once, not really having as many choke points to work with, and having these weird lava entry things that can be kind of hard to spot in the heat of the moment. And really just having to deal with lots of stuff that's kind of difficult to deal with at this tier of play. Things are really starting to get into the major evil territory now, so you have to deal with even more powerful enemies that if you're a warrior, then this would be much more difficult in the later stages of the game. Even though you can take hits much better, it's just much harder to close in on enemies, and obviously you're going to be taking damage if you want to dish it out. So if you're a warrior, you need lots of healing potions to get through these portions of the game. More vitality, we don't want to die. And I guess at this point I don't know if I'm going to need more strength or not. I think we have just enough strength to be able to use most items of note. Maybe there might be some heavier armors later on that we might want to wear over Arcane's Valor, but Arcane's Valor is a great suit of armor, and you can wear it maybe for the rest of the game and be okay. It's just a matter of getting magic that's powerful enough to throw things at your enemies that are hard for them to deal with. So, let's see, Town Portal, I guess we'll learn it. It's not worth buying at Adria's shop, but if you come across a book, you might as well just learn it, I guess. Alright, there's another trap. That's annoying. Yep, and that was the Nova spell, the circular arc of lightning, basically. So, and let's go back to Guardian here. I think that in this style of map, and with the enemies that we're facing, it's a bit harder to utilize lightning as a spell here. So, and I think that's the area that goes down to the next level, I would guess. It might also go up to town, since this is the first cavern area, so it might be that as well. These guys to deal with. Alright, there's a mana potion over there. Mundane amounts of gold. I'm not... Oh, fungal tome.
I cannot cast that yet.
I bet that might interest Adria from the looks of it. Yeah, so we're getting a bit of mana back. Go, my guardian, deal with them. Alright, so I'll go back up there later, but I wanted to check out the fungal tome here first. I guess I can go this way to get over there. So I guess it's an item on the ground, and it's kind of good that I had this control key here, because otherwise I wouldn't have even known that the fungal tome was on the ground. Because it's behind a wall here to where I can't actually see it, so otherwise I wouldn't have even known it was there. Now, it's like if it had like some translucent type stuff going on where I could see the items behind the wall somehow, then maybe it'd be okay, but without the control key here, I wouldn't have even known it was there because it's hidden behind that wall. So, well, it's another minor blemish on the original Diablo here. I have harped on it in some areas, but it's still a great game regardless. It's just, it does have some flaws by its ancient sort of gameplay design, and there are some good things that the game does, but there are some things that are that could definitely be improved upon if it were given like a remaster or a remake, so to speak. So, and to be honest, they probably should have remade or remastered the first Diablo before doing the second one for Blizzard, because the first one I think needed a remaster much more than the second one did, but that's just me. The second one, the graphics are definitely more acceptable. The style is still much similar. It's not like that much of an improvement graphically. The animations, of course, are better, and you know, you can actually run instead of just do a slow jaunt like this. But oh, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do lightning bolts. Or lightning, whichever one works for me. Alright, so that goes back up to town, and then, so this leads to town from this little spot over here. So the west side over here, we go back to the caves. I guess I'll go into town here while I'm here and see what this fungal tome is all about. It did say that it was a quest item, so I imagine that's probably Adria's territory.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
So we haven't even gotten the quests in our quest log yet, but it's having the dialogues available to us.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Don't know if that's a mod issue or if it's just a game issue that was in the original game. I do remember something kind of like this from the original game. It's not one of the major side quests that I remember, but it does seem familiar, so I think that it probably was in the original game, and then that's just kind of a quest log bug or something like that.
Well, what can I do for you?
And I am playing the, like, obviously since I have the GOG version, it's the most recently patched version of the game, so it should be as fixed up as possible here. Life health regeneration, we have close to enough health to be able to use Splint Mail, but again, Arcane's Valor is just fine for us, so. I guess if we wanted to use like a better belt, then obviously, you know, you want a higher strength for that, so that might be a consideration to get some strength pumped in there so we can use a better belt and maybe have more potions going on with the potion belt action, so that is possible that we could consider that. I think we're just going to kind of bite the bullet and cut our losses with Mind Mace because we just don't use it anymore, so... Or we're not going to use it anymore because it's kind of useless, so we're just going to take that back to Adria and say, hey, can you take this off our hands? We kind of made a mistake here. Yep, as I thought, she has the exclamation point and wants to talk about this tome that we found.
What do we have here? Interesting. It looks like a book of reagents. Keep your eyes open for a black mushroom. It should be fairly large and easy to identify. If you find it, bring it to me, won't you?
Well, hopefully when we get it down there again, it'll stick out like a sore thumb so we can easily find it and bring it back to her. So we will definitely keep our eye out for that one. +3 to Stone Curse, that's not bad, but, you know, it's only, like, we don't need that highly leveled up, I think, to make use of it. Maybe, maybe it might improve the duration of the spell. Yeah, so I guess the duration would definitely increase if we leveled it up, but I think we'll just go without the staff. Book of Guardian, I definitely want that because I'm using that quite a bit. Insanity, maybe we'll just get that and see what it does here. Because I don't know if I'm going to replay the game and do the higher difficulties or not yet, so we'll just see what I get here with Ice Blast, Stone Curse, Insanity. Okay, so supernatural combat prowess, but we're a sorcerer, so, like, who cares? Like, who cares? Like, I don't know, like, insanity, like, I get it, I get the mechanic, but that sounds like something for an evil NPC that's like a spellcaster that does like lots of melee attacks and superpowers himself against a fight, or in a fight against you. So, yeah, not too happy about that, but you know what? You live and you learn, so you know it now, we can avoid it in the future. So we have a good amount of fire damage going with that now. Oh, I want to go ahead and get plenty of... Oh, now I leveled it up. Okay, so now I look like an idiot. So yeah, I did increase the fire damage a little bit, and I think the duration went up slightly. So, could be wrong there, but I think the duration went up and the fire damage went up a little bit. And we want to sell Mind Mace to her, I don't want to forget that.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
And then I want to go ahead and get some potions from her as well.
I sense a soul
Keep
in
forgetting
search
while
of
I'm in the
answers.
menu screen here for buying and selling. Let's just get a bunch of potions like that and call it a day. Alright, I think I have plenty of potions now, and I cleared out my inventory of these spell tomes that I don't want to use. And now let's... Oh, and I guess before I do anything else, I want to talk about the Black Tome to people, since I got that quest just now. I might want to talk to the townspeople about it, just to see what they think.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen. The witch, Adria, seeks a black mushroom. I know as much about black mushrooms as I do about red herrings. Perhaps Pepin the healer could tell you more. But this is something that cannot be found in any of my stories or books.
So I guess he's more of a history buff than an alchemy buff, so we'll go ahead and talk to someone else then about it.
Well, what can I do for you? If Adria doesn't have one of these, you can bet that's a rare thing indeed. I can offer you no more help than that. But it sounds like a huge, gargantuan, swollen, bloated mushroom. Well, good hunting, I suppose.
Swollen, bloated mushroom! I love the voice acting there, you know. Griswold does a pretty good job voice acting too, and kind of exaggerating where needed, but just being a cool dude that's just kind of entertaining and funny to listen to. It's like that that really cool uncle at family reunions that's just super cool, and he's like, "Oh yeah, yeah man," you know, or something, and just as an entertaining fellow, I guess is the way I would put it.
What ails you, my friend?
What? Huh? I can't talk to him about the black mushroom, even though Kane just told me to?
What ails you, my friend?
Why no option to talk to him about that? Okay, well I guess Kane's advice is just kind of ignored. I can't talk to Pepin about it for some reason. It's probably a glitch, but it seems to be a glitch of some kind, or a bug.
Kind of fellow drinking geese? Ogden Mitz is a mean black mushroom, but I get sick if I drink that. Listen, here's the secret. Moderation is the key.
Well, I wish that you would, I don't know, take a bit of your own advice as far as the moderation goes, because you sound pretty drunk. I mean, moderation is the key, the guy says while he's already shit-faced drunk, so... Alright, just readjusting my position in my chair here, because I'm just kind of buckling in for the Caverns here, because the Caverns are just, like, super difficult to deal with. Like, Guardian definitely makes it easier, but we are chewing through mana very fast with that strategy, so... Oh, excuse me. Very mana potion intensive, for sure.
Greetings, good master. Welcome to the Tavern of the Rising Sun. Let me just say this. Both Garda and I would never, ever serve black mushrooms to our honored guests. If Adria wants some mushrooms in her stew, then that is her business. But I can't help you find any black mushrooms. Disgusting.
Alright, so tell me how you really feel, Ogden. So obviously we know how he feels about black mushrooms and alchemical ingredients, reagents, or reagents is how I pronounce it, but I guess Adria pronounces it like reagents. Maybe that's like the original pronunciation, but for me it's a lot simpler to call them regents.
Good day. How may I serve you? I think Ogden might have some mushrooms in the storage cellar. Why don't you ask him?
Well, I did, and he made it known that the black mushrooms are his kryptonite. Definitely not his thing. He doesn't like them. He hates them. They are terrible for him. He loathes them so much.
Psst, over here. I don't have any mushrooms of any size or color for sale. How about something a bit more useful?
Well, I can tell you one thing useful that you could buy. Maybe a different personality. Okay, well, let's see. I think that's everybody, and we can't talk to Pepin, unfortunately, about that, so we're going to have to just accept the fact that Adria gave us the most information that we can really know about the subject. So maybe in the original game you can talk to Pepin. Maybe the mod bugged it out to where you can't talk to Pepin for that quest for some reason. But I don't know. Maybe if the mod author ends up seeing this video and watches the playthrough, maybe he'll know that it's an issue he needs to correct, or he or she needs to correct. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and get back to our business and keep an eye out for that big mushroom that Adria is talking about. We'll need to use the control key to make sure that if the black mushroom is on the ground, hidden behind one of these big walls, that we can spot it. The walls of the catacombs tended to be a bit more translucent or transparent with the items, I guess. It's a bit easier to spot things there because the walls aren't quite so thick in that particular area of the dungeon. Oh, well, that was fun. Fireball to the face. Now, where do we go? Well, we can go over here. There's a door over here, and then there's some more stuff up there to the north. Still need to find the entrance to level 10. Oh! And there is the entrance to level 10. So let's go over here and see if we can finish up this level of the dungeon and make sure that we don't miss that giant mushroom that Adria wants. And for some reason the game is lagging like crazy over here. I have no idea what I did to do that, but the game just all of a sudden just lagged like crazy. So what did I activate over here that caused the game to go all crazy on me here? Yeah, so I don't know if that showed up in the recording or not, but like when I was casting Guardian over here, it would just cause the game to just kind of freeze up for a second and not let me do anything, so... Okay, well, hopefully the game doesn't freeze up in more important moments, because these enemies are too strong for us to lose, you know, our way to defend ourselves, which is to maneuver around their attacks. So if the game keeps like pausing and freezing up like that, then that might be a bit of an issue going forward. When I played the original game, I never had an issue with that, obviously. And this is even on older machines too, like Windows XP type stuff, so freezing and stops like that have never been an issue with this game from my experience with Windows XP and with this computer in the past. I'm not sure if there's any other areas for us to explore here. I think this is as far as we've been able to go. I'm just double checking here just to make sure that I haven't missed that giant mushroom that Adria wants us to find. Because if it is somewhere in here and I missed it, then I may not end up finding it very quickly, so... So I think that's about the size. Oh, yeah, I explored down there, explored to the east. Explored up north, I did down south already. Alright, well I think that we explored everything that we could explore down here, and with our handy dandy tool of finding things lying on the ground, we haven't found anything else yet, so... See, we have a small chest we missed over here, nothing in it. Yeah, they said it would be a big, gigantic mushroom, so it's probably out in the open for us to find, and not in a container of some kind. Maybe the eerie cauldron has something to do with it? Let's see. Okay, what does this do? Temporarily increases magic, okay. So yeah, you could see that when I activated that little, I guess it's sort of like the cavern version of a shrine, the little cauldron there. The game just froze up for a second there. What the heck is going on over here? And these guys are immune to fire. Well, that's even worse. We are in a real pickle here. I am going to have to formulate a plan for that. We have some magma dudes that seem to be fire immune because the guardians that I was using in there don't really seem affected by the guardians, so we are going to have to change our strategy and incorporate a bit of lightning action. I don't know if cold spells are the way to go here because we haven't really leveled them up all that much, so I think we're going to have to rely on lightning a lot here and some well-placed attacks. I just hate being surrounded right at the start of opening up a level here. It didn't happen in the previous dungeons. And the cathedral and the catacombs, you'd usually have a bit of breathing room in dealing with enemies when you go to another level. So, yeah, and the reason I have the game paused here is because I don't want the shrine thing to run out that I just got. So, alright, so let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to keep my hands on the keyboard here for my potions as best I can, but we'll see how this goes. Okay, let's just drop some lightning at these guys, kind of take it one step at a time. I was hoping that I could just do guardians and stuff here. Are they immune to lightning? They probably are. This is going to be bad. It's going to be really bad if I have to switch between lightning and fire type spells to deal with gargoyles. Oh, jeez. Oh my gosh. Gosh dog it, I don't want to have to switch between spells so much. Die. Jeez please, leave me alone. Okay, so now that we've dealt with that, oh, I don't want to go down there. Can you die? Thank you. Okay. So we're going to have to switch between fire and lightning here, essentially. So let's go ahead and get some different hotkeys going that might be more prudent. You're going to be F2. We're not going to use Frost Shard anymore. And then Guardian will stay F3. I guess Chain Lightning can stay around at F5. I have to kind of be realistic here on what I'm actually going to use. Okay, so we have I think those 5 spells maybe are the best for us. F1, F2, F1, F2, F3, F4, F5. Like, I don't know, maybe having one cold damaging spell is good here, but maybe we'll just do that at F6, maybe. In case I need it, and then Holy Bolt F7 in case there's an undead that we come across where we need that. Alright, now I can easily switch between, or hopefully switch between spells here, so yeah, these levels are a bit of a mess to deal with, so okay, that is a lot of stuff going on over there. Let's get a Guardian over there and a Guardian right there. Let's take care of the... Oh, gosh dog it. I have to get used to my new hotkeys here. Magma dudes deal a good amount of damage, so we don't want to take too many shots from them for free. And the problem is that my Guardians will inexplicably try targeting the Magma dudes. So they'll tank... The Magma dudes will tank shots from the Guardians, whereas I want... Gosh, Doug, I need to get used to my hotkeys here. Basically, the magma dudes are going to try tanking shots here, or will inadvertently tank shots from my guardian spells here. That I would want them to target other creatures that are not immune to fire. And so that's going to... Oh, man. So basically that's just going to cause some problems as far as targeting for my spells, because I'm so used to just lobbing a guardian in there and having it take care of all the work. But if there's a fire immune enemy that draws the fire of the guardians, then that makes that strategy a bit harder, because, well, of course you can't honestly do a whole lot when your spells just keep on getting blown out of the way by certain creatures. So what, is he immune to fire and lightning? Jesus Christ. Jeez Louise, like, come on, cut me a break here. Let me take care of these other little guys first, then, and I'll just run around in circles. Die, please. You can stay there. As long as you can't use magic, I'm okay. Oh, jeez, well, we have more of them. You can die. And you can die too. No, I want you guys to get over here. Come on, get in there, get stuck in there. Like, are you guys immune to lightning? Like, what's the deal here? You're not immune to lightning. Okay, that's good. The regular gargoyles seem to be immune to lightning, but these guys aren't. Jeez. I am not in a very good spot here. I need to get out fast. And I need to remember my hotkeys too. Oh man. Hotkey madness here. I really need to get used to these hotkeys, so that way I don't screw up there. Alright, can I... There are just so many enemies here. This is not fun. Not fun at all. There's enemies over there too. What am I gonna do? I'm getting the heck out of here. That is just... Man, how do you deal with all that? It's like you go to a therapy session, like, there's been a lot of enemies in my dungeon. What do I do, Doc? And then they're like, well, have you tried asking them how they feel about you trying to kill them? And then you're like, well, how do I do that without them killing me first? And then the doctor's like, fair point. Yeah, so like, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here to try and deal with them. Because the magma enemies, my guardians, aren't really going to be as effective here, because they might end up accidentally, you know, choosing to target the magma dudes that are immune to fire and make this spell kind of more difficult to get to work properly, because I want them to hit the gargoyles and stuff and things like that, but the magma dudes, if they're mixed in, then it kind of screws around with the targeting of these things and they suck up our mana. So okay, let's see if we can at least make something out of this. Ouch! That hurt. We're gonna hurt some more. Maybe if I just take care of the magma dudes first and get rid of the ranged enemies, maybe I can work with something here. Oh man, there's so many archers. So many archers. Now there's more gargoyles. How on earth do I get out of here? I get out of here by using town portal, that's what. I'm getting the hell out of there. Like, how do you deal with that onslaught? And, like, you have fire immune enemies, you have lightning immune enemies. I mean, imagine trying to play this part of the game on, like, nightmare difficulty or something like that. Like, how the heck do you get through all of that? That is just a lot to deal with. And now we have Grizzled that wants to talk to us about something. Hey, can you help us?
What ails you, my friend?
Excuse me, but can you help us deal with all these demons that are trying to kill us, Griswold? I'd really appreciate it. They are out to murder us.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Armor of regeneration, that's nice, but not good enough.
Greetings! It's always a pleasure to see one of my best customers. I know that you've been venturing deeper into the labyrinth, and there's a story I was told that you may find worth the time to listen to. One of the men who returned from the labyrinth told me about a mystic anvil that he came across during his escape. His description reminded me of legends I had heard in my youth about the burning Hellforge, where powerful weapons of magic are crafted. The legend had it that deep within the Hellforge rested the Anvil of Fury. This anvil contained within it the very essence of the demonic underworld. It is said that any weapon crafted upon the burning anvil is imbued with great power. If this anvil is indeed the Anvil of Fury, I may be able to make you a weapon capable of defeating even the darkest lord of hell. Find the anvil for me, and I'll get to work.
Well, sadly, that won't be quite as effective for a sorcerer character, but if you were a warrior, then this quest would be of great interest to you, so... But let's see what the townsfolk have to say about it and see if they have anything to add to that.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
And, of course, we're going to have to hope that Griswold can, you know... Be nice if we could ask him to come down there and be our sidekick and help us to deal with all these, this madness full of enemies here, but... We were just getting surrounded, and there was no way we were going to be able to deal with that, so... We'll be here in town for a little bit and talk to people about the Anvil of Fury instead, so...
Griswold speaks of the Anvil of Fury, a legendary artifact long searched for, but never found. Crafted from the metallic bones of the Razor Pit demons, the Anvil of Fury was smelt around the skulls of the 5 most powerful magi of the underworld. Carved with runes of power and chaos, any weapon or armor forged upon this anvil will be immersed into the realm of chaos, embedding it with magical properties. It is said that the unpredictable nature of chaos makes it difficult to know what the outcome of this smithing will be.
So yeah, looks like we are going to use some hellish magic or a hellish forge here to make a powerful item of unpredictable properties here, so...
What ails you, my friend?
But one thing I guess I want to note here, from Griswold's description of the quest here, or of the event, it's kind of interesting that the townsfolk were able to get so far into the dungeon. Like, they got way deep into the dungeon, where even a powerful sorcerer like my guy, Abe, is having trouble dealing with them. So how on earth did they get so far into the dungeon where, upon leaving the dungeon, they observed the Anvil of Fury? Like, if I'm having a hard time dealing with all these guys, and I'm a pretty powerful spellcaster at this point, how in the hell did they get so far? Like, I know that the Archbishop Lazarus was with them, and maybe they had some reasonably strong fighters with them for maybe the first couple levels of the dungeon, right? You know, those little demons with spears and things like that. Like, I could see them dealing with the, you know, the enemies within the first tier of the dungeon with the cathedral. But after that, you think that they would get their asses handed to them or something like that, because, like, these are just common townsfolk. Whereas I'm kind of, you know, growing stronger, learning more spells, leveling up, doing things like that, growing more experienced. How were the townsfolk able to get so far in the dungeon without everything just basically murdering them? And, you know, again, I don't know if the Archbishop Lazarus was just going on a facade, but even if he was, it doesn't make sense that the Butcher, who is right on level 2, was a big part of the massacre that happened to all of the people that went into the labyrinth with the Archbishop. So, I don't know how one of these survivors of the group of people that went down into the labyrinth in the dungeon with the Archbishop ended up surviving, much less that deep into the dungeon. Like, how in the hell did they get out of there alive? Like, it's almost impossible, like, at least to me. Like, They would have to have been a very strong fighter, like a knight that was like some relation to the king of some kind to even be strong enough to get down there in the first place, so... Yeah, that's just my take on it. It doesn't have to make that much sense. There might be a lore reason for it somewhere that's explained in some Diablo novel or comic or something like that that I'm not aware of, but
What ails you,
we'll
my
see
friend?
what happens with talking to Pevin about it.
If you had been looking for information on the pestle of curing or the silver chalice of purification, I could have assisted you, my friend. However, in this matter, you would be better served to speak to either Griswold or Cain.
Alright, fair enough. But yeah, the whole deal with, again, the whole deal that I have with the quests is that, or at least how Griswold knows about the Anvil of Fury existing in there from the townsfolk survivor that was in there. Like, the Butcher's on level 2, and then we're on level, like, 9 right now, or level 10 or something. We're on level 10 of the dungeon, and the Butcher was on level 2, and he massacred a lot of the people that went into the dungeon, and some of Farnham's friends, and etc. So that's a lot of levels to go through to get deeper into the dungeon. And so, like, how far did they even get, and, like, how did they even get down there successfully?
Over here. If you were to find this artifact for Griswold, it could put a serious damper on my business here. You'll never find it.
Yep, only thinking of numero uno where it is.
Good day. How may I serve you? Griswold's father used to tell some of us when we were growing up about a giant anvil that was used to make mighty weapons. He said that when a hammer was struck upon this anvil, the ground would shake with a great fury. Whenever the earth moves, I always remember that story. Griswold's father used to tell some of...
Alright, so I guess that Griswold's father has a good deal of knowledge, information, and lore, so... It's a shame we don't get to talk to Griswold's dad. He sounds like a cool guy, so...
Greetings, good master. Welcome to the Tavern of the Rising Sun. Don't you think that Griswold would be a better person to ask about this? He's quite handy, you know.
Yeah, I guess as always, when it comes to the more arcane stuff, Ogden usually doesn't know much about that kind of stuff, so...
I sense a soul in search of answers. There are many artifacts within the labyrinth that hold powers beyond the comprehension of mortals. Some of these hold fantastic power that can be used by either the light or the darkness. Securing the anvil from below could shift the course of the Sin War towards the light.
Well, it's a refreshing take on it. Use a tool of the Hells and try and make the best of it to try and use it for the powers of good to fight back against the Hells, and kind of giving them a taste of their own medicine, fighting fire with fire, as it were, so... Book of Lightning, we'll definitely take that. I think we have plenty of potions now to go ahead and deal with all the stuff that we're doing with down there in the dungeon. Lightning is a very effective spell, but, you know, we're surrounded on all sides down there, so it was just... Like, I don't know, maybe Chain Lightning could work there, but the damage seems so low to me, like 4 to 6 damage per second or something like that. 4 to 6 damage per second does not seem like anywhere near enough to deal with all that, whereas the regular lightning spell is like 4 to 106 or something like that. Alright, so now it's 4 to 134, so that's just way more damage than Chain Lightning has listed for it, so I don't know if Chain Lightning is even viable here. And I don't know if the mushroom that we were supposed to find is on this level of the dungeon or the next one. I don't know if we're supposed to keep an eye out in the next level of the dungeon for it. Looks like I did miss a chest over there. Yeah, I don't know if the mushroom is down here anywhere. I figure I might as well just make a quick check while I'm going down to the next level of the dungeon here to see if I did miss it by chance. I don't know, call it
Rest in peace, my friend.
Oh, rest in peace, my friend. And we have a unique staff of firewall there. See, a fallen hero makes sense, but random townsfolk getting down to this level of the dungeon and surviving and spotting the Anvil of Fury on their way out, I have no idea how that happened. So, but a slain hero, at least the hero was probably a reasonably strong person that made it this far and then just kind of bit the dust, kind of like we have done 3 times already. So. I don't know, and if it's too hairy down there, you can obviously do the save and then go back into the game strategy, I guess, but like I don't want to have to do that to get past that level of the dungeon, so... Because it is something that, you know, you could do to see if you spawn a different set of enemies, for example, that might be a bit easier for you to kill. Or maybe they're not resistant or immune to the magic that you like using or something, but... Alright, so we're going to do this. Let's see if we don't die in 5 seconds or less here. Okay, well, that's gonna be a problem, obviously. I mean, obviously I'm tempted to just, you know, do the save and quit thing, then come back into the game and see if the area is more manageable by the time that I get back into the game, but I don't want to do that. I want to at least try to clear out the area proper here, so it's just going to be really difficult. I might die again, so bear with me. Okay, let's at least... Oh, jeez. That is just... I don't want that. Alright, so I got most of the magma dudes. More magma dudes, that's not good. Oh, come on, will this kill you? Jeez. Oh, maybe I have to do cold magic. Oh man, this is a disaster. How am I supposed to deal with all this junk? Like seriously, game, how am I supposed to deal with all this? And now my pathfinding gets all screwed up and... Alright. Oh, come on, why can't I go over there? Oh, come on. Come on, game. Jeez. Come on, survive. Survive. Okay. We're still alive. Somehow.
I cannot cast that yet.
Oh, geez. Alright, so we got the waypoint. Alright, so we get the waypoint, at least. Okay, that's good news. We didn't die there, which is the important part. I don't know how we did it, but somehow we got out of there. Alright. Oh, that was a mouthful. Oh, man. Like, good lord, that was just... That is what you call a clusterfuck of evil down there. Like, how are you supposed to deal with all that? Like, I understand that maybe the Belzebub mod, it's not perfectly balanced or anything like that, and the original game might have also been like this a little bit, but... I mean, I imagine that the original game could have this happen to you too in some cases, but I don't remember it being this fucking hard at this point in the game. Like, I remember that you could at least have it be doable, that you could get into areas like that and you could still do okay as a sorcerer, but apparently I was mistaken, and it's much more difficult than I remember at this point of the game.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Bitter branch, bitter like me right now.
Well, what can I do for you?
Alright, again, regeneration's nice, but not really something that I'm looking for. Resistance to fire could be situationally good here, just to deal with the magma dudes that are throwing fire damage at us, I would assume. Resist all is probably still the best, because then it'll help us out against other enemies too, but... Plus 32% resist fire is very tempting here as a temporary solution to the magma dudes throwing fire at us. I think we still have enough mana potions to kind of... I accidentally drank a potion. Okay. I was trying to hit my spell hotkey, but then I hit the mana potion hotkey by... or the healing potion hotkey by accident there.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
That's another reason why I like using the scroll wheel in Diablo 2 to go ahead and do that function of scrolling through your skills and abilities on your spell list or your ability list. Because then you don't have to worry about the misclicks and stuff that can happen trying to manually select like a certain spell or something with the F keys that are right above the number keys. So resist magic and resist cold. That's actually a pretty good item. Doesn't regenerate as much mana, but it gives us resistances that we probably need more than lightning. Because we have this for resist all, that for resist lightning, that for resist all, that for resist lightning. So yeah, maybe resist magic and resist cold are just better for us here because we already have so much lightning. So let's see what the comparison is here. So resist lightning is down to 60%, so it goes down 15%, but we get some magic and cold resistance, which is kind of much needed. I don't know how much cold damage we're going to come up against here. Magic might be a thing, possibly. Resist fire is what we really need right now. That's why I considered the armor there in the shop, but this giving us vitality for just extra health in general and less damage from enemies, that's also good. So yeah, firewall, not really something that I guess I'm gonna want. I guess the bitter branch also has charges of firewall, so it doesn't make much of a difference, I guess. Yeah, I guess we don't really, like, the mana regeneration's nice, but we still have a good amount of it. We're regenerating 3 mana every 5 seconds, which isn't too bad, honestly. So I think the resistances in the long run probably end up being worth it to spread our resistances a bit more. Okay. Nothing in there worth looking at. Elemental and Bone Spirit. Alright, so Bone Spirit, I think, I don't think it was in the original Diablo 1 game, but I think that it's a spell that's in it's a spell in Diablo 2 for the Necromancer, I think. And then Elemental, I think, was a spell that was in the original Diablo, but I never really ended up using it. It wasn't terribly useful of a spell for me, so I can show you what these spells do, I guess, but I don't think that they're going to be all that useful for us. But for completionist's sake, let's go ahead and show what the spells do. Bone Spirit might have a different implementation in this game as part of the Belzebub mod. Maybe it's a summoning spell that I'm not familiar with, or something like that in this version of the game. So there's Elemental, so it does fire damage, so it's kind of like a fireball type spell where it'll seek out enemies, but I'm not sure how useful that is right here. Bone Spirit, I guess all of the level 6 spells in the spellbook are like downside type spells instead of super powerful spells, so it costs you 15 life. It costs you 15 life for the initial casting, I guess. And then it deals damage and takes back some of that to restore your life after sucking your life force out to fuel the spell. Then it takes out health of an enemy and gives it back to you, so it kind of helps return some of your health back after casting it. So for Bone Spirit anyway. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a spell that I'm too keen on, especially when we're having to worry about our health getting low anyway with all these enemies and stuff. Maybe Elemental is a spell that we could try out here. Maybe if it seeks out enemies, then maybe I can spam it and try and kill some of those gargoyles that we're dealing with. And then I think we do end up needing some cold damage option here with Frost Shards, so maybe we'll do that with F4. Stone Curse can be F5, Chain Lightning F6, and then we'll test out Elemental here, and then Holy Bolt can be F8, and Telekinesis we are just not really using anymore. We've kind of outgrown Telekinesis, I guess. Where did I have Elemental on my quick spell list? I thought I put it somewhere. Oh, I put it all the way as F7. Okay, that's why. So I don't think I want to go in by the waypoint. I think I want to go back to the entrance of the cave here and travel all the way down there, so thankfully the entrance to the next level is not too far away from here. So I'm unsure of what kind of strategy I want to employ here. I mean, it's getting surrounded is just a hard proposition. I don't think that Chain Lightning has enough staying power to spam, and the gargoyles, at least some of them, seem to be immune to lightning, so that's kind of a bummer that we have to deal with here. I'll keep the inventory up, so that way if I need to use a potion, or if I run out of potions in my belt from trying to keep my health up or something, then I can have my potions up here. Let's see if Elemental can do anything here. Not much. Can we do anything over here?
Not enough mana.
Yeah, at least they don't end up
Not enough mana. I cannot get there from here.
yeah, I'm dead. I think I'm pretty much dead here. There's the Anvil of Fury, though. Silver lining. And these guys are opening up the doors for them, and I have to just run through like a madman here. And I'm kind of dead, I think. Or maybe not. Nope. Oh, I died. Okay. Well, that was... I almost got out of there, and I could at least get to this vantage point. I almost got a potion from my inventory there to save the day, but it did not happen. Yeah, this is just a really tough situation because we have a lot of immunities floating on these enemies now, so our spells are being rendered very ineffective, and trying to switch between spells without being able to use the scroll wheel that does this instead in the game. The scroll wheel really should be reserved for this instead of zooming in and out. Like, no one's going to zoom in or out in this version of the game. Like, maybe that's just a mod author mistake, thinking that people would like that as a convenience feature. But if someone wanted to go ahead and zoom in further in on the game, they would just change the resolution, I would think, right?
What ails you, my friend?
You can change the resolution if you want, and then it'll have the game more zoomed in of a viewpoint. So, no, I bought the wrong potion there. Okay, well, it's not a big deal. Not a big deal, so we'll just load up on potions here. Because being the glutton for punishment that I am, I'm going to go back down there and see if I can try and beat them, hopefully. And yeah, it does make the episode a little bit lengthier here, but I found the Anvil of Fury. I'm hoping that I can find that big black mushroom too for Adria here. So I did find the Anvil of Fury. I have no idea how the survivor got out of there.
In search of answers.
Absolutely no idea how the survivor got out of that situation. I guess Chain Lightning is worth getting, and Lightning too. We don't have enough gold, however. Alright, well, we have a couple of items that are stashed that we can sell to get that Lightning book there, so let's go ahead and go back to our stash here. We'll sell a couple of irrelevant items here, I guess, that we have stashed away, and get the Book of Lightning that we need more. Book of Healing, we're not going to need that, and I guess Charged Bolt is kind of obsolete because of Lightning here. We'll keep the Firebolt one because Firebolt is something that we occasionally use. But these other spells we can do without the books for these, so I just want enough gold left over to get the Lightning book. So will we get enough gold from this to be able to afford it? No. We're gonna have to go back in there. Maybe if we don't use Town Portal, maybe she'll still have the same inventory here when we get back. It's kind of a shame that we ran low on gold here. Maybe when we die we lose gold and I'm not realizing it because I'm an idiot. So if we die and we lose some of our gold, I think that happens in Diablo 2, where then that's why you have a stash, so that way you can stash away gold, so that way you don't lose it as much. You also, in some cases, you lose experience as well if you die, and you have to regain your experience and grind it back up, but let's avoid the town portal there and not go back in there. Let's see if... like, we need a cold dealing spell here. It might be the best play. How much damage is Frost Shard doing? 41 to 56 isn't bad. Maybe we can just lob some Frost Shards in here, and maybe that'll be a damage type that they're not immune to in here. Okay, we have to deal with these guys. What? Immune to fire, lightning, cold, magic? How am I... what? immune to cold. Oh, come on. Come on here. He's immune to fire, lightning, cold, and magic. How am I supposed to kill him then? How is a sorcerer supposed to kill that guy? Like, I don't have any summoning type magic to kill him. And Holy Bolt's not going to kill him because he's an undead. He's not undead, so Holy Bolt's not going to kill him, I don't think. I no longer fear Arcane. Well, that's not going to help me. Let's get Lightning Bolt here to kill these guys. Silver Lining, I can at least kill the Magma Men. They're lobbing everything at me, and maybe I can just avoid the gargoyles in some way? I don't know. So yeah, that guy back there that we were dealing with, he's immune to everything. So how am I supposed to kill him? Like, I don't remember an enemy being like that in the original game, so that has to be a mod enemy. A mod, Belzebub Mod enemy, so I mean, I don't know if that's a mistake by the mod author, maybe that's just some misdirection on the part of the description of the enemy there, where it's trying to trick you into thinking it has all resistances, but it doesn't actually have all resistances. Maybe it's a ploy to try and get you to find some summoning-based magic, or I don't know. Stone Curse isn't going to do anything here either, so. But I mean, how am I supposed to kill him? Like, he's immune to every magic type. We don't have a summoning spell, and we're crap in melee, so how am I supposed to kill the dude? Mind Mace. Oh, maybe Mind Mace can hurt him? I don't know what damage type that deals. Does it deal magic or what? I don't have the opportunity to go into my spellbook here to check it out, though. Let's check out the spellbook here. Where's Mind Mace? Not over there. It deals magic damage, and they're immune to magic, so I doubt this is going to work. But if I can somehow deal damage to him, then maybe I can get him out of my way. Does it hurt him at all?
Not enough mana.
I don't think it does. Yeah, mine. And now he's circling around and not really coming at me. It's not dealing any damage to him, and it's sucking away my mana. Right, will that work? So that doesn't work. I don't know, maybe the game expects you to be able to get in the melee there and to take care of them, but like, I'm not seeing any options in my spellbook that can deal with this guy. He is flat out immune to every spell I can throw at him. I mean, I'll just have to avoid him, I guess, and try and hope that he doesn't kill me, but that's some bullshit right there. And now he's going to try and trap me in here, and I don't like that one bit. So let's get out of there. And there's more. Okay, that's just a lovely proposition here. Let's just pile it on. Sorcerer is just a punching bag for these guys anyway, so why not? Like, I get it, you have some resistances and immunities, but not all of them.
Not enough mana.
Like, how am I supposed to kill him? I mean, yeah, there is one summoning spell in the original game here, so I get that. So it's plausible that maybe you were able to find a spell book of a summoning spell or get it from Adria by pure chance, but you would have to summon a creature that deals physical damage to go ahead and deal with this guy. And there's only one spell I know of in the original game that does that, and it's not something that you can usually get until way late in the game. So Yeah, I'm really annoyed right now. Like, I don't know of any spells that can deal with him. There's only one spell from the original game that can deal with him, and I don't know if I can have access to that yet. Which it summons a creature that fights for you and stuff like that, but I don't know when I'm going to get that spell, if I'll get that spell anytime soon. So that enemy over there is just a death trap we're just going to have to avoid for like the entire level here, because there's no other choice. It's no wonder that my spells were kind of being ineffective before, just because it's immune to everything, so... But why would you make something that's immune to everything? That's just a poor design choice. Like, there's no way a sorcerer can deal with him. So see, like, he's immune to only fire, lightning, and cold, but then he's immune to everything. That's not fair. How is that fair? Like, I get it, life's not fair, especially when you're fighting hell, but it'd be nice if you could at least do something to deal with them. Maybe we can at least kill some of these guys and then kind of clear out an area here that I won't get mauled to death in. I mean, at least I know why my spells weren't doing a whole lot before. It's just because these enemies just don't want to be killed. But these traps are just killing me to death too. Okay, let's just go over here and lob some lightning in here because I'm tired of these guys. Get more guys over here. I'm really surrounded here. This is just not good in any facet. Okay, more magma balls. I'm gonna have to try and... Oh, Jesus, not him again. Go away. Please go away. Please go away. I do not want to deal with you anymore. I mean, at least he doesn't have a ranged attack. That's the silver lining, right? And he doesn't throw magic fireballs at me, so... At least they're not the perfect enemy to counter me. So yeah, it's just really difficult to maneuver around enemies here because it's so open and they have so many ranged attacks that they'll just come from everywhere. He's immune to fire, lightning, cold, and the whole works, so we have to avoid him too. You're also immune, so we have to avoid you. Let's kill the little guys as much as we can here. So that way we can at least maneuver around here somewhat. Of telekinesis. Like, I don't know if there's like a hard counter for those guys that I don't know of yet. Like, I think I used Holy Bolt before and it didn't hurt them, so... Yeah, I just want to get rid of the mundane enemies here so I don't have to deal with them anymore. That way I can at least maneuver around these tough guys that don't want to die to anything, so... Let's see what we have. The normal club I don't care about. Telekinesis at least gets my mana back here. Yeah, I guess I can try Holy Bolt here to see if it hurts them. Holy Bolt doesn't seem to be hitting them. They're not undead, so that makes sense. But what doesn't make sense is why they would be immune to everything here. What else is in our spellbook? Insanity, Dark Pact, sacrifice life to recover mana. That doesn't seem like a very promising thing. So Bone Spirit, can this... I don't know, maybe Bone Spirit can work, because it steals their life. You know, maybe it's like a vampiric type effect here, so maybe this will work. I don't think I have any other spell that can actually work on them, so... And Bone Spirit doesn't work because it's immune to magic. Alright, so even Bone Spirit doesn't work, then you know you're in a lot of trouble here, so... If Bone Spirit doesn't work here, then we're just kind of fucked. Alright, so mod author of the Belzebub Mod, I love you. You have a great mod here and the stored content is great. But these enemies are bullshit. Why did you add them in there? Like, why? You can't kill them if you're a sorcerer. There's no spells that you have that can kill them. So why put them in there at this level of the game? Like, why not put them in, like, a tier or two after this? So that way, at least by then, maybe you have one spell that can deal with them. Yeah, I don't like this. So up to this point, there's been lots of minor blemishes to, you know, a great game or whatever. But in this case, the Belzebub Mod, this is a major strike against it from a balance standpoint, and just from realizing maybe an enemy with all resistances is not a good idea, because then a sorcerer can't defeat them. Maybe we might want to go back to the drawing board and not have an enemy that's immune to everything that the sorcerer can use. I mean, it's theoretically possible that I could go ahead and use melee attacks to kill them and everything, but it's not likely to happen. I don't know, maybe that explosion blew up the other champion gargoyles or whatever, but I'm so over it. And of course they're not dead. So how am I, like, mod author, anyone who's played this version of the game with the Belzebub mod, how am I supposed to kill these guys as a sorcerer? Like, how? Like, what are my options? I know there's one spell called Golem, which summons a golem to fight for you in the original game, but that's like a max level spell, like the highest level spell that you can get, like level 4 or level 5 spell in the original game. And that was like one of the last spells that you could even get in the game, which usually isn't available to you until after you clear the caverns. So, like, the only spell that I know of that could deal with those guys is a spell that I may not be able to get for a good while still. So, what am I supposed to do? Now, maybe the point is that you're not supposed to fight them, you're just supposed to avoid them, but... And there's another one. And he's cutting off my only way to get back over here. I don't like that. I'm going to have to forget about the amulet for now and figure out how to just maneuver around here without getting killed. Let's deal with you. At least we have the ranged attackers dealt with now. And then dealt with you. I mean, at the very least, like, the game does tell you here that they're immune to everything, but why are they immune to everything is the real question here. Like, I just don't get that. From a balancing standpoint, that is a major blemish against it, because if you have something that's immune to everything and you can't win, then what's the point, you know? Like, especially in an RPG like this, to where customizing your character is the part of the whole experience here. And so I've added quite a few spells to my spellbook, and not a single one of them can deal with those guys. Not a single one. Maybe if you're a warrior, you'll have an easy time dealing with them. Maybe I can grab a bow to shoot them down. Maybe that's what I have to do here, and find a bow that Griswold has on him. But they're trying to cage me in here, and I don't like that either. There's another one. Jeez Louise. Let's just get out of this situation. Like, we haven't even explored, like, we've explored maybe 1/3 of this part of the dungeon, or this level of the dungeon, and we're already in a world of hurt, so... yeah, those enemies are bullshit. I guess we'll just have to find a bow and arrow to shoot them down, I guess. Like, maybe that's my only choice here. But I shouldn't have to do that, game. Like, Belzebub Mod author, if you're listening to this, I am complaining a lot, but I have a good reason to complain here. You can't do that to the game. You can't do that to the player, make them immune to everything a sorcerer can throw at them. It's bullshit. So, like, you can't do that.
What ails you, my friend?
Now, yes, I might be able to grab a bow and arrow here, and maybe eventually I can defeat them by lobbing enough arrows at them here after I'm done with Adria and seeing what she has, but... So yeah, maybe theoretically I can kill them with a bow and arrow, but I shouldn't have to. I'm a sorcerer, like why would I want to do that?
I sense a soul in search of answers.
Yeah. Mind Mace, you're the most useless spell that I've ever encountered. Sadly, you're gonna have to go to the dungeon here. Nice that you're in the game at all, but lightning is just way better than you, so I'm gonna have to pass you up for greener pastures. And we want a lot of potions, so we need a lot of magic potions here. Yeah, and we have 2 active quests, but right now we're just kind of reeling from the fact that these demons are just demons, and gargoyles and everything under the sun are just kicking the crap out of us. Like, level 9, like, yeah, we were getting surrounded a bit, but that was manageable. The horned demons, the acid spitters, and all those guys, those were manageable, because we could at least use lots of fire-based spells to deal with them, and Guardian, and Firebolt, and Lightning, and all that stuff, but now it's like, what the heck am I supposed to do?
Whoa, what can I do for you?
You have a bow and arrow for us that can work? We don't even have the stats for a bow and arrow. We don't even have the stats to use a bow and arrow. We have 25 dexterity because it's... I did not have the foresight to think that I would need some dexterity to use bow and arrows, because why would I? I'm a sorcerer, I can lob spells at them, but... Now the bows and arrows that Cain sells are so advanced that we don't have any chance of really having a bow and arrow that we can wield to even shoot at them. We are like only halfway towards being able to have the dexterity to use these things. Only halfway. I mean, I have that set item here that I might be able to use to whack him in the face, but... I mean, I could use the Angelic Sickle, but... I mean, it does reasonable damage, but... I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here. I mean, I could just try avoiding them for the rest of the level here and not worrying about them anymore, but it's going to be a little bit difficult considering that they're kind of right in the middle of the map there. And they'll probably chase me down to the... till the sun comes up. Yep, see, they're chasing me already, so... I wish they would just go into their frozen motion there. Looks like we have more special enemies, and now we have to... See, this is the worry here, that they're going to box us in somewhere and we can't deal with them when we have to retreat from other enemies, and then we're kind of screwed. So this is the worry that I have to deal with here. And then there's another one, so I have to worry about 2 of them, and then I have to worry about dealing with all these magma dudes, and then I have to worry about dealing with unique magma dudes back there somewhere. Yeah, just having to do this with the map. And then there's a warp spawn over there. Like, how am I supposed to deal with all this? Oh, man. And I don't want to go this direction, but we'll see if we can at least kill him. Kill, 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 please. There we go. Oh, man. Book of Warp. I doubt that's going to do anything for us. Let's go ahead and take the potion. Spam some more lightning to kill him. Definitely are going to need all the mana potions in this game. Short Staff of Lightning. interesting, but you know, I'm more content to use my mana for lightning because I haven't leveled up so much. Now I don't know if a staff contains a spell, I don't know if it uses your spell level from your spell book or from the staff itself. I know that in tabletop games it usually has its own set spell level that it casts it at, but in this game, Diablo, it might be different. I won't die. There we go. Now they've gone all the way around to try and flank us here, but we're not going to let them. Yeah, I don't know. Do we have Warp memorized already in our spellbook? Let me double check here, see if it might do anything against them. Mind Mace. Oh, Warp was just this spell. It was the magical teleportation to a staircase of some kind, so... Now we have them in the way. I wish they would just go into their sleep mode over in the corner of the map where I could just avoid them, but they're very content to follow me until they're dead, so we're just going to have to be very careful here. Be very quiet, sneak around here, hopefully they won't notice us. There's a longbow over there that we probably cannot use, so we'll get it anyway. Can we use it? We cannot, because we just... And then he's coming after us. Okay, well, I hate that. I hate that so much. Ah, man. So I need a way of dealing physical damage to them, but my only option, a bow and arrow, is something I can't even use because I don't have enough dexterity for it, so... Maybe if I can level up, I mean, even if I do level up, I'd have to level up, like... I would need several stat-boosting items for dexterity, and then I would need to level up 2 or 3 times just to get 43 dexterity to use some of those bows that were available to us, so... I don't even know if it's worth it at this point. I mean, yes, it's true we do have a stash that we can put some of the items that we get to boost our dexterity in case we need them again, but... I really shouldn't have to do that. So yeah, considering the length of this episode, I might just consider ending the episode here because it's already like... I think we're over the 2-hour mark, which is usually what I limit myself to. Somewhere around 2 to 2.5 hours here. And we don't really need the Book of Warp anyway. The helm I don't really need either. Gold would be nice, but we are just going to have to avoid them as best we can and not get pinned in here. The weight of the world seems lighter. Increase speed. Well, I mean, our speed doesn't seem that much faster, and so we can go to level 11 here, but unfortunately there's not a waypoint on level 11, so... And I don't want to skip the Anvil of Fury either, since it's on this level of the dungeon, so, like, I'm unsure of how to proceed here. If I could just kill those gargoyles and not have to worry about avoiding them for the rest of this map, then I probably might be okay-ish. But yeah, I am just so over those gargoyles. Another fallen hero type body over here. Let's go and kill them while we can here. Yeah, we kind of need our gold here because we're burning through potions a little bit, and you know, buying the spell books or the spell tomes from Adria, we kind of need money for that, so we do want to pick up as much gold as we can muster here. Maybe if I stay far away enough from the gargoyles over there, they'll get caught up in their pathfinding and all the different walls and stuff like that, and not follow us too much. Alright, now we literally have to go back this way, and the Anvil of Fury is over in this part of the dungeon, so I do need to go over there. The question is, how much hurt is laid, how much World of Hurt is laying in wait for us over here? Alright, so he's immune to cold, so at least we can lightning him to death. Let's just lay a bunch of lightning at these guys down here. Hopefully I killed a couple of strong enemies down there that I don't have to worry about anymore. I don't know, maybe we can use that short bow to take care of these guys? Maybe that's a bow that we can use somewhat effectively.
Where would I put this?
And we have to get rid of something. Let's just get rid of the staff. Why not? Alright, so technically we can use a short bow here. Let's go ahead and put this in our other weapons set up here. Basic short bow is better than nothing, I guess. It'll take forever and a mile to kill these gargoyles up there, but at least we have a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance? Oh jeez, I don't want the Night Clan to kill us. Saved by the bell. I got a level up as I was losing a bunch of health there, and I was getting ready to use a potion anyway, but we got saved by the bell, so there's a unique magma dude over there that we have to contend with. Maybe Stone Curse is in the cards for this dude, and we can lightning him to death here. I mean, it seems like the logical thing here. Let's Stone Curse him. Stone Curse him again. And then kill him. Club, not really valuable enough to justify. And you would be dead.
Enough mana.
Alright, so lots of gold laying on the ground for us at the very least to recoup some of our losses as far as buying stuff and replenishing our mana potions here. Looks like some armor dropped down there. Some good armor at that, so I don't know if I'm going to have the strength to use it yet, but hopefully we can make some use of that.
Not enough mana.
Oh no, one of those champions is coming after us again. So we have to clear a path here so we can get away from them. And I do want to grab the chainmail, so let's drop the axe here and pick up the chainmail that I care more about. And then at least we have a path to the Anvil of Fury now, so we can take care of that quest. I don't know if the big mushroom thing is here or not. I don't know if it's on this level of the dungeon. It's probably on the previous level of the dungeon, if I would guess.
I shall crush
Whoa! Let's get out of here. Let's get out. Come on, get out, get out, get out, get out! No! I was right there! Oh. No! I mean, look how fast he's swinging. And he's just chopping me to bits. I'm dead, and look at him, he's still swinging. Look at that. Like, I love this mod, but the difficulty spikes are just... they're horrendous. They really are. I mean, again, there are spells that you can use to deal with some of these guys, but there was no way for me to run away from him. He's just way too fast. And I am not, like, I don't have the hit points to tank that kind of abuse, and so I was trying to Talon Portal out of there so I could formulate a strategy to try and deal with him, which might be the Guardian spell, as it so happens, but the Guardian spell might be the thing I could try and do there. I could have also tried using a potion there, which probably would have been enough to save my life, but I think he was going to maybe stun lock us before we get out of the Talon Portal with the portal that we made. So, yeah, I'm not sure if we would have even survived if we used a potion there to heal ourselves, because he was attacking so fast. Like, yeah, we can increase our dexterity to try and use a bow here, but that's just not worth it at this point. I think we just need to raise our strength a little bit for some armor here. Yeah, we have enough strength for chainmail at least. I don't know what chainmail that is, but
hello, my
we were
friend.
so close to the Anvil of Fury. And in the original game, you did not have to deal with an enemy like that. You did not have to deal with the smith or whatever. It was just you pick up the anvil and then you take it back to Griswold. So I don't mind enemies and stuff, but that enemy is just way too fast. You cannot outrun them to try and think of anything to do, unless maybe you're a warrior and you just go in there like Leroy Jenkins and charge in at him, but oh, resist fire. Now that's actually something that we can use. It has more armor class. It still gives us a vitality boost. Lots of resist fire. Arcane's Valor is still pretty competitive with it because of the vitality, and faster hit recovery does allow us to run away faster instead of getting stun locked permanently, but yeah, that's regenerates 4 mana per 5 seconds. Well then. Do we care about those particular resistances enough? I mean, we haven't really come across any cold damage yet. In magic, we're coming across fire damage and kind of like acid type damage, which I don't think comes up as magic resistance. I think maybe it's just like a physical attack. I'm not quite sure how the game calculates that for acid spitters, but right now fire resistance is the one that we really need the most. So putting on this seems prudent, and then putting on the Staff of Meditation just to make sure that we can regenerate mana pretty fast here now. So that would be 6 mana per second, I think. Regeneration of mana. Fire resistance might be enough here to tip the scales in this armor's favor. I mean, I love Arcane's Valor, and I would probably put it in my stash here. But, yeah, Arcane's Valor is good, but I think we need the fire resistance more right now. I'll repair it first from Griswold, and then we'll put it in there.
Well, what can I do for you?
Let's repair all of our stuff here. +9 to magic. Not a bad helm, but not sure if we can afford to lose the hit points from the cap that we already have on. I mean, it's only 4 armor class that our helmet is currently providing, but considering the fact that some of these helms don't provide much more armor class, it doesn't really matter all that much. Like 4 armor class, 7 armor class, like there's not that much of a difference between the two. Like, considering that the enemies are definitely hitting us more now, I don't know if we can really afford to lose the hit points on this helmet. This would be a great item, but I don't know if we can afford it. I don't know. Maybe we can just go ahead and take the helm anyway. I do not have enough room. Okay, then. Now I have enough room. Alright, so maybe I can at least test this out to see if it's worth the trade-off here of having more mana here. So maybe it will allow me to spam spells more, and we can get the next level of Firebolt. That's cool. So our magic is pretty high here. We have lots of mana, but our life did take a big hit there. So it's definitely a gamble here. We're going to be more of a glass cannon here, which is not a good proposition, but we have to try something here, and we have more fire resistance now at least, so let's put these things up here a bit more orderly. Then we have a staff to sell. Like, yeah, I could keep this if there's a resistance that I need, but I don't know if there's any cold damage dealing enemies that we'll encounter. I mean, I'll keep it around just in case, I suppose, in case I need it for the resistances, but... So how do I get back over there? I guess I can do the waypoints here, which isn't too far away from where we were. And then... I don't know, let's see about spells here. I mean, Guardian might be good here if they're not immune to fire, but I doubt that he's not immune to fire. He's a demon who uses a forge, so if he's anything like a forge cleric from Dungeons and Dragons, then, I mean, it's probably going to be fire resistant, so I don't know how much good fire damage is going to do, so we'll try it. If we die again, so be it. At least we have infinite continues here, but I don't know if the forge dude is going to keep coming back at us for more. He was super fast, though. Like, he runs super duper fast. Like, yeah, you might be able to teleport away from him, I guess, if you have certain spells, but teleportation magic just does not tend to hold well in this game.
I shall crush you!
So wherever he is at, I do not want to be at.
Cast that yet.
And they're not really doing a whole lot here, so I need a town portal out of here again. And I barely made it out. Like, look at that. As I was going into the town portal, he did almost all of my health. And Guardian, it seems, is not enough here to deal with him. So, yeah. So he's either resistant to fire magic, or he's just so strong he has so many hit points that dealing with him is just difficult. Maybe too difficult? Like, I might have to bypass this quest because I don't know if I can beat him. I mean, I do have Stone Curse here that I could, you know, potentially Stone Curse him and then run away and, you know, spam lightning at him, maybe. But
I sense a soul in search of answers.
Elemental, I'm not really convinced that it's going to help me here, so I don't know if I should get another spell book of that and just, you know, I don't even have enough gold for that anyway, so I just have to kind of save my gold up here. Just gonna have to go with what I have here for the most part. Lightning Wall, maybe that could be useful against the smith, but, you know, I doubt that's gonna be enough. He moves so fast that the wall-based spells are probably not going to be any good here. Frost Shard could be interesting to slow him down, and then maybe that allows me enough of a chance to run away from him, but... so yeah, maybe we can try Frost Shard or Stone Curse here. We have to find a way to slow him down. That's like our only chance here of any kind of success. Maybe if we spam enough of the Frost Shard at him, then maybe it'll slow him down enough to where we can just spam him down with that. And then just use our mana potions to keep replenishing our mana. So let's see if we can make Frost Shard work, and if I die, so be it. But at this point, I'm okay with just trying. If I can complete the Anvil of Fury quest here, then I will be happy enough with that to just end the episode instead of stringing this along. And there's a whole bunch of junk here on the ground that I have to worry about accidentally clicking on. That's yeah, downside of these indoorish type levels here. And then there's that dude down there to contend with too.
I shall crush you!
Okay, so come on, come to Papa. Alright, so let's see if this works. Nope. It's not working that well. Waypoints? Maybe Waypoint can get us out? And no, come on! Get in there! No! God damn it! Jeez. Come on. No. No, I need Town Portal. I need Town Portal. Oh no, come on, move! Move your ass! Town Portal, come on! Come on, move, no! I was trying to move into Town Portal, and then every time he hit me, it stopped my movement, and he just stops moving, so, like, yeah. Trying to restore your health while trying to go into a Town Portal when you're out of potions in your belt is not a good proposition there, so... Yeah, this is a real problem here, because I don't know if I can defeat him or not.
What ails you, my friend?
This is a big, big problem here. I mean, I could just end the episode here and then try and figure out a way to defeat him later. Obviously, there's not going to be any, in-depth guides or anything like that for doing stuff for mod content for a game that's so old and doesn't have like a big mod community here, but I do want to try and figure out how to beat him on my own because that's part of the challenge of the game. And I guess Frost Shard just was not enough to slow him down. Maybe Stone Curse is an option to try and do that, but I don't know. We were close to the waypoint there, so we're gonna have to deal with him here. So let's at least try one more time here, and we'll have to try and switch between Stone Curse and Lightning here. Is he immune to it? He's immune to it. Okay, so I tried targeting him with Stone Curse, and he seems to be immune to that. So. I mean, maybe I just didn't target him correctly there. Like, I think I would have lost mana if I were able to target him with that. I don't know if he's immune to it. Let's try this again, and let's see if I can at least target him with it. I don't know, maybe I'm just misclicking here. I mean, I'm spamming it on him and it's not working, so Stone Curse is out. Apparently I can't target him with it because maybe he's immune to magic or maybe he's immune to those kinds of effects. Frost Shard worked somewhat to slow him down, but not enough, I think. So I mean, Frost Shard, it did work, but I don't know if it slowed him down enough that we can actually defeat him. I'm glad I have infinite continues here, because otherwise I don't know how I would do this, but... I mean, it's true that we don't have much health here, but he is too fast. Like, you can't run away from him. If you're a warrior, he attacks so fast he might stun lock you into place, and then if you're a rogue, you also can't run and use your bow on him, so I'm kind of unsure of how to deal with him here. We can do the town portal way in, so that way maybe we can avoid him and get to the anvil at least. Nope, that's not likely to work either. Let's get him away from the waypoint. Let's go up this direction. We'll get him away from the waypoint, then maybe we can go ahead and distract him enough here. Alright, let's cast that. Let's see if we can get in there. Okay, so... yeah, he attacks so fast that even as we go into the town portal thing there, he's still dealing damage to us. That's like how incredibly broken that he is. Monster OP. Monster OP, please nerf, you know.
What ails you, my friend?
And some more potions here, because I know I'm going to need them. But now, basically the purpose of what I did is I tried to get him away from the waypoints. That way at least I can get the anvil to complete the quests. So that way, if I have to bypass him, then at least I don't have to deal with him again, so... Alright, so now that I took care of that, let's at least go into the caves now once more and see if we can find, get the Anvil of Fury here without him murdering us. As long as we don't trigger him or provoke him or anything like that, then we can at least get the Anvil here and get out of here. I don't know if he'll reappear again if we get close to the Anvil and surprise us and kill us again, but we'll see. Because I don't know if getting close to the Anvil will just like respawn him in that area again and be like, no, you can't have it, but we'll see. Maybe I should just do Town Portal here just in case.
I need to get this to Griswold.
Alright, so at least he does not respawn there to stop us from taking the Anvil. Oh, full mana potions are going to be nice here. Do desperately need some gold here because I was running kind of low on gold. No, I don't want to use you. Let's use you. Like, I would have to use some big burst damage, I think, to kill him. And, like, if there were a wall-based spell that would allow me to cut him off from being able to reach me, then that would be one thing, but I don't have a spell like that, I don't think. And lots of these magic items, I'm just not even caring anymore about a lot of these. A lot of them aren't. Like, there's so many items that are cursed in this game, and they don't give you any money for the most part, and so it's kind of like it loses you money when you pick up a cursed item because it costs you 100 gold to identify it, so... Let's pick up some gold here. Hopefully we don't provoke him to come after us again. Now let's see about the map. Alright, so the way down is up there where the smith is, so we're not going to be able to get back up there again, I don't think, so... Now, if you're a warrior, maybe it might be possible to kill him since you're a melee character, but for a rogue or a sorcerer, I have no idea how you're going to kill that guy. Like, I don't know how you're supposed to kill him, because Stone Curse doesn't work. He's immune to fire, so the Guardian is out to try and block one of these paths of the Guardian, and then maybe, you know, you can just deal fire damage to him, but he's immune to fire, it appears like, and so we can't hurt him that way. Bone Curse is like a spell that doesn't really seem to do a whole lot. Let's see here. Fireball's not going to do anything here. These spells are doing diddly squat. Frost Shard, I mean, it did slow him down somewhat, but he's still so fast that it's impossible, so... I don't know if Ice Blast is going to do anything here. What does it do? So maybe it's a more powerful form of Frost Shard here. Okay, so if it freezes them, Would that lock them into place? I don't know, but I can try it, and that might be enough if it does. If it doesn't work, then I might just be all out of options here, and I might just have to skip him as a boss fight. I don't want to, but I might have to here. Let's not bungle around, though, since we have the Anvil of Fury, and we don't want to leave it here. So let's go back to Griswold and take care of that first. I do want to make an attempt to take care of the smith.
Oh, I can hardly believe it! This is the Anvil of Fury! Good work, my friend. Now, we'll show those bastards that there are no weapons in hell more deadly than those made by men! Take this, and may light protect you!
Okay, so we have a unique item here that we get from Griswold, so obviously if you're a warrior, this is a very good item.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Griswold's Edge. So this is obviously a very good item, and you know, it's definitely great. Unfortunately, we can't use it, and it is different from the original game. If I remember from the original game, I think it gives you like a penalty to hit points but a bonus to mana. Has you attacking very, very fast, and it has the knockback and the fire damage like it's in the original game, but it doesn't have the mana boost and the health penalty. So it's definitely more of a martial type sword instead of something you would equip on a mage or a sorcerer type character. So in the original game you could equip Griswold's Edge and get a boost to mana and have a way of pushing back enemies as part of using the weapons. So if you needed to get them away from you, you can make a quick swing with it because it has increased attack speed there. But unfortunately, the requirements to use the weapon are much higher than I think that they are in the original game, so we can't use it as a sorcerer. Scroll of phasing, I don't think that that's going to help us at all here, but we'll learn it anyway. We have nothing better to learn, so... So yeah, Griswold's Edge, I think I'll just keep it for safekeeping here, just as, you know, for nostalgic reasons. Kind of like Arcane's Valor. I don't know if I'll use it anymore, but I do like having it around just in case. And so I guess there is some crafting that goes on here, kind of like in Diablo 2, with a certain select item in Diablo 2 that allows you to craft items and transmute gems into better gems to go ahead and put into items with what are called sockets and turn them into magic type items and things like that. So there is a crafting system here. It doesn't seem to be very prominent, and I don't really care about having it in this particular game because it wasn't designed around it, but it is an interesting addition nonetheless. Maybe it's more of a thing for like the nightmare type difficulty or something like that. Yeah, I'm just kind of at a loss here of how to deal with the smith here, so I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to deal with him. We'll put Ice Blast somewhere here. And I was going to put Ice Blast on F4, and we'll put you on F6. Maybe Ice Blast might be able to, you know, freeze him into place. As the spell description says, if we freeze him into place where he can't move at all, maybe that's our chance to be able to kill him. The smith, that is. So let's try this one more time and see if it works. If it doesn't work, you know, fair enough. I can end the episode here and I can get back to the game later and figure it out later, but I do want to try to take care of him, and maybe the map might be helpful for me being able to deal with this. I don't know, maybe I don't want to have all this stuff in my way. And then I have to contend with these assholes down here too, so... Can I freeze them into place? That is the question of the day.
I shall crush you!
Whoop. No, I can't. So if Ice Blast, it does not freeze him into place. It slows him, but it doesn't freeze him, or the freezing effect, at the very least, it's, like maybe the duration of the freezing is just so super short that it, doesn't really make a dent in him, so we learned some things here, that, Ice Blast does not work as intended here, does not freeze him into place. Maybe it freezes him after one casting, then if you deal damage to him again, he's unfrozen. I have no idea, but even if that is the case, I don't know how I'm going to beat him, because you want to spam a single spell. I don't know if it's, yeah. So I think I'm going to just have to end the episode for today, because I don't know how to beat this guy. I might have to go and, maybe I can go online and see if anyone else has beaten him before. Maybe there's someone on YouTube that's done it that has a strategy that can be used to defeat him. I mean, I don't like to resort to different strategies before finding out my own strategy to beat an enemy, but yeah, the original game was not this hard to get past some of these points in the game. Yeah, they were annoying. Like the ranged enemies are annoying in certain spots, but it was not this hard to get past certain enemies or certain places in the game where there's a very drastic difficulty spike to deal with the enemies that you're facing. So that's going to be it for today. That was quite a mouthful, and I reached a bit of a stone wall in this case, and so I'm going to have to figure out how to best deal with it when I come back for the next episode. And I'm going to have to figure out a strategy of how to beat him, and if I can't, then I can just skip him and it's okay, but I do want to see if it's possible to beat him. If you're a warrior, then I'm guessing it's possible. If you can use Griswold's Edge by stealing the Anvil, town portaling out of there, then coming back to fight him as a warrior, then maybe you can use Griswold's Edge to use the knockback effect to defeat him and prevent him from attacking you, but as a sorcerer, I do not have the stats to be able to do Griswold's Edge. That's just not a plan I can do, because I just do not have enough strength or dexterity for that. So, unfortunately, that plan is out. So, I thank you all for watching, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you watching through even my biggest frustrations with this version of the game, with the Belzebub mod. It's a great mod, but at this point the difficulty spikes are a little bit much for me as far as the difficulty of the game goes and the enemies that were added in to the game. So, one frustrating aspect of the game, but hopefully if we can just bypass some of these enemies, maybe the future levels in the game are going to be a bit greener pastures for us. So, I thank you all for watching and for being patient with me and my frustrations and my little bits of saltiness here and there. A little bit salty, but not too salty for the gourmet Diablo dinner tonight. So, thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day, and I hope you all take good care.